guys, 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 guys. Oh boy, 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 oh boy. Oh man, a journey that started, a journey that started in 2023 has finally come to a disappointing end. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will not be at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Oh man, it's the hope that kills you. It is the hope that kills you. It looked like we were down and out. It looked like we were down and out. And then Eric Shell took over and breathed life into the team. We thought that the Super Eagles were back and could do it. Certain things went in our favor. We beat Benin Republic 4-0. We beat Gabon 4-1. And in the most important game of the Super Eagles in the past 4 years or thereabouts, we come and give a very, very lackluster performance. Look, I can only blame the players so much. They had a grueling semi-final fixture. They were tired, but there were also some performances that just were not good enough. I would usually start by doing a whole rundown of everything that happened in the game. I don't really think that I want to do that right now. I don't really think that I want to do that right now. I mean, I hope you guys watch the game and I don't have to recap everything that happened. I hope you guys watch the game and I don't have to recap everything that happened. Well, yeah, we're not going to the World Cup. It is very, very unfortunate. It is very, very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I'm so, 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 so sad. I am so sad. I am so very sad. Toothless in this match. We scored in the third minute, and for the next 120, we did nothing. Sometimes you lose a game and you say, you know what, we put up a good fight, or the other team was lucky. But I can't say we deserved to win this match. That's the thing that hurts me the most. I can't say we deserved to lose. We got what we deserved. I was hoping up until the very last penalty that we'll find a way. But I'm sad, but I cannot be upset because we didn't deserve it. From minute 35 till minute 120, DR Congo were the better side. In the second half and in extra time, it was attack versus defense. It was almost like we were just doing defensive drills. We didn't try to keep the ball. We had no intention of maintaining possession. It was just clear the ball, give it back to DR Congo. They will try again. Okay, clear it, give it back to them. We did not deserve it. And I'm so, so, so sad. I want to watch my team at the World Cup. I hope any of you have not given birth to children now, because if you've given birth to a child and your child is maybe about 7 years old now, they'll be wondering why dad supports this country. Because if they've not seen it, they've not seen their country go to the World Cup. They'll be wondering why their father loves Nigerian football so much. Oh man, it is so, so, so sad. It is so sad. Look, Stanley Nwabali, I'll just quickly give my thoughts on each player. Stanley Nwabali, during the game itself, Nwabali just decides that he's going to be the one reason why Nigerians have high blood pressure even in their 20s. I really don't know why he keeps on making silly errors, from punching ball that is punching down to the penalty spot, from just dilly-dallying with the ball so much, kicking it to a player and giving him the ball inside your own box. Just lack of concentration, maybe overconfidence, maybe just unprofessionalism. I don't know what it is, but Nwabali just decides that he's going to be the reason why 25-year-olds are going to be suffering high blood pressure because they support Nigerian football. In the penalty shootout, yes, he saved 2 penalties. I have to give him credit. Or was it 3 that he saved? I have to give him credit for that. He was good in the penalty shootout, but he could easily have lost us this game in the 120 minutes, and we wouldn't have gone to penalties. So I'm very, very mixed on him. Like, he was poor and then he was good for the 5 or 6 kicks of the ball. I have very, very mixed opinions, but we're not going to the World Cup, but the AFCON is coming up next month in December. We need, like, If Nwabali is undoubtedly like by far the best that we have, then we have serious issues. Maduka Okoye, I like you. Maduka is a talented player. You know, he needs to compete. He needs to compete. Players need to know that when they mess up and make errors consecutively, it is not until they punish you that you wake up. It's not until you do something that leads to a goal that you wake up. He needs to wake up. Okoye needs to wake him up. Adeleye, Opasoge, all the other goalkeepers, you guys need to step up, man. There needs to be competition. There just needs to be competition. There needs to be competition. There needs to be competition. But good in the penalty shootouts. Good, it was good in the penalty shootouts. But boy, in the 90 or 120 minutes, I was so scared for my life. Zedu Sanusi, starting from the left back. Look, Sanusi, I like you. A lot of people say that Sanusi is the best left back that we have, and maybe he is. But in today's game, it was like his leg was just pointing in the wrong direction. And I say this with all due respect. I'm not trying to be emotional and insult anybody. But today, his crosses were just not it at all. He considered a few free kicks. He had one or two good moments in defense as well. But overall, I cannot say it was a good Zedu Sanusi performance. You know, average at best in terms of his performance today. And when Bruno came on, for the minutes that Bruno was on the field, Bruno did better than he did. You know, Bruno looked better. Bruno put in one cross for Arukodare. I'll get into Arukodare in a little bit. Bruno put in one cross. You know, in the little time that Bruno was on the field, he looked better than Zedu. And normally, you expect Zedu to be the better of the two left backs. You know, so a bit shocking that he chose today to not be so good. But it is what it is. In defense, we had Calvin Bassey. Calvin Bassey in the 90 minutes, maybe made one, or the 120 minutes rather, maybe made one mistake, you know, or two mistakes. He had good moments as well. He had good moments where he covered up. You know, I think there was one time that Frederick lost the ball and Calvin Bassey covered well for him. There was another time that Ndidi got beaten very easily in the midfield and Calvin Bassey covered for him. So he had good moments, but unfortunately, he got to the penalty shootout and he started us off with a banger. Calvin Bassey's penalty. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, I mean, I'll get into the coach as well, but I was quite surprised to see Calvin Bassey take the first penalty. My belief had to be that the coach allowed the players to just decide who wants to take and what penalty they want to take. I want to believe that the coach just allowed them to decide. But, you know, my usual belief when it comes to penalty shootouts is that you start with a strong penalty taker, you end with a strong penalty taker. Because if you save your strong penalty taker for the last, you might not get to the last. And if you start badly, it can set a bad tone for the entire shootout. Calvin Bassey, I don't think is one of the top 3 penalty takers that took the penalties today. So I was surprised that he took the first one. But obviously, that happened already. Shemilo Ajayi, his centre-back pairing, also missed his own penalty. You know, once Shemi Ajayi stepped up to the ball, I tapped into my group chat to my friends. I said, Shemi Ajayi, I fear. I never had any confidence in Shemi Ajayi scoring that penalty. Shemi Ajayi, I don't know, when have you guys ever seen Shemi Ajayi strike the ball? When have you ever seen him strike the ball? Simply just take a shot from anywhere on the field. Just take a shot. Not to talk about coming to take a very crucial penalty. Again, the coach has some blame in this because the coach subbed off some of our better penalty takers during the game. But I mean, I don't blame him for subbing them off because some of them were having poor matches as well. But Shemi Ajayi taking what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th penalty. So Shemi Ajayi was the first person to step up amongst the other options. You know, and look, I have all the respect in the world for Wilfred Ndidi. I have all the respect in the world for Frank Onyeka. One of y'all needs to step up, man. One of y'all needs to step up. I don't see why Shemi Ajayi is stepping up before Onyeka in a penalty shootout. I genuinely do not see it. Why is Shemi Ajayi stepping up before Onyeka? Like, I don't see it. I don't get it. Onyeka, Ndidi, you have to step up before Shemi Ajayi. I'm sorry. I understand Awaziem not wanting to take a pen, you know, but Onyeka and Ndidi, 2 midfielders. I think Onyeka before Ndidi. One of them has to step up. But yeah, Shemi Ajayi, obviously, you know, during the 120 minutes, it wasn't terrible. You know, had some good moments, had some bad moments, but ultimately missed that penalty. Benjamin Frederick, you know, Benjamin Frederick is the one player that I can even give a little bit of plaudits in this game. Look, Benjamin Frederick, there were moments where he got beat by Mbuku on that left side. You know, the DR Congo players, they targeted him. I don't know if they thought it was steal or they just felt like that's where they were strongest in their attack. but they clearly targeted Benjamin Frederick's wing. And there were times where he got beat, where he let crosses into the box. It happened. There were times like that. But he also was solid in a lot of moments. He has to hold his head up high. Benjamin Frederick is 20 years old, and I think of all the players today, he probably puts in the best performance on the field. We have to give credit to him. Again, I don't blame him for not stepping up to take a penalty. The pressure is high. He's the least experienced player there. So I understand him not taking, but it was a bad performance all around today. Benjamin Frederick has to hold his head up high and say, you know what, I gave my very best. I fought very, very well for the team, and I have to give him credit. He stopped them in certain moments, defended well in certain moments. So Benjamin Frederick, for me, I think I'll give him good credit in this match. He has done well, and I look forward to seeing him again at the AFCON. Moving over to the midfield, Wilfred Ndidi, not his best game today. Definitely not his best game today. Definitely not as good or anywhere close to as good as the last match, where he was everywhere on the field against Gabon. The midfield today was so poor for us. The midfield was so poor. The midfield was so poor. The DR Congo players, they ran the show in that midfield. They controlled the pace of the game. After minutes 30, they controlled the pace of the game. They went forward. They beat our midfield so easily. There were times where I was seeing the ball just being passed around Ndidi, and Ndidi was just turning left and right. And I'm wondering, that big Wilf, is this you? How is this happening? There were times where Bassi had to cover for him, times where Ajayi had to cover for him. Ndidi was just not. See, look, maybe the Congolese just came with a far better game plan. Maybe they just, played far better on the day. Maybe it's because they had slightly fresher legs than we did, even though their game ended later than ours, but we played 30 minutes extra. Look, they just ran rings around Ndidi today. They ran rings around Ndidi, and I was fairly sad about that because I gave him big praise after the last match. Frank Onyeka scored the goal in the 3rd minute, a decent strike that got deflected in. And after that, again, in the midfield, we just looked second best every single time. Every time that the Congolese came towards us, you knew that they were going to get into our attack. If they bypassed the midfield and they went through the flanks, you know that they would most likely get a cross into the box. It wasn't a good midfield performance at all, and I can't give Frank Onyeka too much praise. Despite that he scored the goal, it was by a little bit of a stroke of luck that deflected in. And after that, he wasn't the tank. He wasn't a usual presence. He wasn't box to box. He wasn't driving the team forward. And again, I wonder, why in our most important game did our players' performance levels drop? I can't answer that question. Maybe the coach would answer the question, but we got overrun in midfield. Alex Iwobi as well. Iwobi did not cover himself in glory today. I'm sorry. I always say, and I defend when people put a lot of blame on Iwobi's head, because Iwobi works hard for the team. He gives everything. But again, today, Iwobi usually is the link between our defense and our attack. And it just didn't quite work today. And unfortunately, Iwobi made the first error that led to the DR Congo equalizer in the first half. He gave away the ball cheaply in the center of the park. Calvin Bassey jumped, and then they played the ball behind him. Shemi Ajayi could also have maybe prevented it from going into the box and prevented the cross, because Shemi Ajayi showed the guy onto his right foot, whereas he probably should have been showing him onto his left on the inside, where it would have been harder to deliver a delicious cross. Ndidi also could not stop the ball, but I can't blame Ndidi for that. And then they beat Stanley Nwabali with the goal. So it will be definitely not a good game from him today. Again, why our players chose today to have poor matches or to have bad games, I cannot explain to you. Ademola Lookman, look, Ademola Lookman is the best player in Africa for the next 3 days. He's the best player in Africa for the next 3 days. But boy, something needs, like, does he need a psychologist? Does he need a therapist? Does he need, some kind of support? Because Ademola Lookman does not look like himself at all. Ademola Lookman just does not look like himself. His decision making, poor. His instinct, poor. His passing, it's just not working out for him. And I paused Peter on Atalanta for causing our player to become this version of him that we're not liking. Because before all the drama, Ademola Lookman was such a reliable player, was such a reliable presence in the Super Eagles team. And right now, look, that chance that Lookman had the ball in like 20 yards of space, the radius of space around him, about 20-25 yards. No one was touching him. He drove the ball into the box. Lookman, where we know, the normal Ademola Lookman, where we know, he will score, he will blast that thing into the net. But he went for the safe option. And then he tried to square it. And then in Didier Onyeka, there miscommunication. And then that chance went begging. That was, I think, in the first half of the game. Look, if Ndidi scored, if Onyeka scored, I wouldn't even be talking about Lookman. I'll be saying good assist. Hindsight is 2020, in it. But I expected Lookman to take that thing on and to score. He had the ball in enough time, in enough space. I expected him to take it on and score. His instincts, his decisiveness, thank you, that's the word. It just looks like he's not so sure of himself anymore. And I hate talking about Lookman like this. He just looks like he's not sure of himself anymore. And I blame Gasperini, Atalanta, their hierarchy. It's their fault. I pour spit on them. They are the ones that caused this nonsense. Because Lookman was very good before all this drama. Lookman was very good before all this drama. Now he just does not look like himself. It just does not look like himself. Samuel Chukwueze, again, Chukwueze just did not come to the party. Tried to create some opportunities, did not lead to anything. Dribbling with the ball, could not keep possession of the ball. Passes, not the most accurate passes. I wasn't surprised when he got subbed off because he was having little to no impact in the game. You know, I might as well have been in the one on the field. You know, all due respect to him. It was just not really contributing anything in that match yesterday. And of course, I can't even say anything about it. Victor Osimhen, unfortunate that Osimhen went off at halftime. And obviously, once Osimhen left that field, the team just lacked any sort of bite, any sort of attacking quality. Just completely disappeared once Osimhen left that field. In the first half, Osimhen did not get service. He did not get opportunities to score. Osimhen was working hard. You could see him pressing high. You could see him trying to win the ball back, leading the press, bringing the players along with him. And then he subbed off at halftime, most likely because of an injury. I don't think that any coach in the world can sub off Osimhen for tactical reasons at halftime in a big game like this. The attack just lacked any kind of spark after Osimhen went off. Very, very unfortunate situation, But yeah, Osimhen, man, I hope it's nothing serious. I wish him all the best. I hope he gets well soon. If there's one player that I'm most disappointed for, it is Victor Osimhen. Because if anybody deserves to play at a World Cup, Victor Osimhen deserves to play at a World Cup. And unfortunately, he's not going to play this year. Osimhen, I think, will still be a Super Eagles player in the next 4 years, but then he's going to be 30. And in the next 4 years, in 2030, look, I'm already thinking about 2030 now. In 2030, Osimhen would have another chance to go to the World Cup. Boy, oh boy. In 2030, Osimhen would have another chance to go to the World Cup. It's unfortunate. I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for him. Osimhen scored goals that he needed to score. He gave absolutely everything for the team. He gave absolutely everything for the team. Over to the substitutions. Akko Adams came on at halftime for Victor Osimhen. Akko didn't really have moments like that. I think he had one shot, maybe if I'm even getting that right. The header that Tolu headed over, Akko could have tapped it in if Tolu didn't touch it, but unfortunately it didn't fall to him. Just an average performance. Chidera Ejuke came on for Lookman. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the goal that we hoped he would get. He wasn't able to get the goal that we hoped he would get, like he did against Gabon. Had one or two moments where he was showing us his dancing feet, but couldn't really lead to anything. Had a shot that was blocked, put in a few crosses that got cleared by the DR Congo defenders. Scored his penalty, which was good. A calm penalty, even after they threw the water bottle in front of him. Calm penalty, played it down the middle. Shout out to Chidera Ejuke, but obviously couldn't lead the team to where we needed him to get to today. Moses Simon came on for Samuel Chukwueze, and Simon was honestly, I would say, a shadow of himself, but this is how it has been for a little while now. Moses Simon just was not able to impact the game. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to impact the game at all. Barely saw him after he came on, except when he was trying to work in defense and trying to help the team in defense. And there was still one time that he didn't defend well and he let them the cross. I think maybe the one that led to the disallowed goal, if I'm not mistaken. And then of course he missed his penalty. Boo-hoo. What can I say? He didn't miss his penalty. The goalkeeper saved his penalty, but it was a poor penalty. It's so funny because when the game ended, when the 120 minutes were over, the one person on that field that I was like, this guy takes penalties. Like, it's not as if He's just going to try. The one person on the field that I was like, this is what he does. He takes penalties, was Moses Simon. Moses Simon takes penalties. And he came and his penalty was, his penalty was not good at all. Was not good at all. Was not good at all. Toluwala Shirokudare, tea time. The tea today was so damn cold. The tea today was so damn cold. So damn cold. The tea today was so damn cold. No milk, no sugar, just raw, straight black tea. Cold black tea. Oh my days, it was so bitter in the mouth. Look, Toluwala Shirokudare, Osimhen on the sidelines had to be coaching him on how to hold up play. He had to be coaching him on how to keep the ball under his possession. Everything he tried just turned into water. Oh man, look, when you have a 6'4" striker that cannot head the ball, it is alarming. It is alarming. It is alarming. Bruno put in a pitch of a cross into the box. A pitch of a cross into the box. Oh yeah, I heard it in. He headed it. Oh my days. And like, it sounds funny. Like I'm laughing so that I don't cry. I'm laughing so that I don't cry. Somebody said he's not 6'4", he's 6'6". It even makes it worse. When you are that tall and you cannot just head the ball down, head it on target, like let the keeper make a save at the very least. I don't know, man. Like I really don't know. Like Tolu, like if Tolu can hear this now and say, oh, IoT has come again, because Tolu thinks I'm his up. But guy, man, you have to do better. You have to do better there. You have to do better there. You have to hold the play up better. You have to link up with your players better. Again, this is a Premier League player, for crying out loud. Oh, man. When he was substituted off, there was no shock there. The only reason I thought the coach might leave him till 120 is because Tolu can take penalties. That's the only reason why I thought the coach might leave him. I think he scored a penalty in the Unity Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Tolu can take penalties. So I thought the coach would leave him on just for penalties, but the coach decided against that. It was a bad performance by Tolu today, man. Bad performance. Look, when you're a sub that gets subbed off and it's not for injury, it just be say the coach won't come out person and you ain't come out because you're not playing well. Very, very unfortunate situation. Very, very unfortunate situation. Very, very unfortunate situation. Very, very unfortunate situation. Bruno Onyemechi also came off the bench for Zedu Sanusi. Look, Bruno played about 24 minutes in that game in extra time, and he looked better than Zedu Sanusi, who played the opening 96 minutes of the game. Bruno put in one or two good crosses into the box, had one or two good defensive moments. He had one time that he got the ball in defense and he drove forward, but he couldn't find Ako Adams with his pass that he tried to play. I was fine with Bruno today, and then he scored a good penalty as well. So I give Bruno some credit. I don't think he did anything wrong. I thought he did quite well. And I think that competition for places between Bruno and Zedu is going to continue on and on like this because we don't really have that many options. But yeah, Bruno, while he was on, yeah, he did quite well. And then Chidozie Awaziem was the final sub coming on for Tolu. Only played 5 minutes of extra time, didn't take a penalty. So there's nothing that I really cannot that I really can't say about that one. Chidozie never really had a chance to influence the game in any real way. So there's nothing that I can really say about that one. Oh boy. Look, guys, I know say we don't qualify, but if you are on YouTube, please like the video, Joe. No be me play the ball. Please, guys, on YouTube, please take a second to like the video, please. If you're on YouTube, please take a second to like the video. Take a second to like the video. No be me play the ball. You can still support my channel. I beg. Take a second to like the video. And if you have the means, please support us with a super chat. Leave super chat. Super chats go a long way. I know right now it go to pay you to spend your money on Nigerian football content, but you can still support the channel. Send a super chat. It goes a long way. It helps us to keep doing what we're doing. Even me now, other than the pain of not winning this game, the pain of not going to the World Cup. Now, if I don't already they calculate the money we're not gonna make next summer. Because World Cup content would have been so fine, would have been so good. But now, all that is not gonna happen. All that is not gonna happen. You pay me, Sha. I'll now be creating content on Ghana, and Morocco and Tunisia. Hey, but guys, please help me and like the video. Please help me and like the video. If you are watching on other social media platforms, please, if you're watching on other social media platforms, join us on YouTube. The stream is going to end on YouTube. It's going to end on Instagram. So please join us on YouTube. If you're watching on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, join us on YouTube so that you can call in as well and share your thoughts on the game. Somebody said I should go and ask the Super Eagles to give me out of their match bonus. Oh, good. All the players, all 24 of them, they're supposed to donate $50 from their match bonus. Oh boy. But yes, okay. Please like the video, and support the channel however you can. Let me go into my thoughts on Eric Shell. Look, Eric Shell, the starting 11 showed me that he wanted to have a little bit of control in the middle of the park. He sacrificed one of his attackers to have an extra body in midfield, which means that he probably thought or felt like DR Congo had quality in their midfield and could overrun us if we played only Iwobi and Alfred Ndidi. Okay. As the game goes on, first of all, I know that it has worked in the past, but I feel like when Chukwueze starts the game and he's coming into those central attacking midfield positions over and over again, and it just looks like he's getting crowded out and he's not being effective, sometimes you can switch it up and go into that traditional wing play. We know that other than the few games that Chukwueze has had that were good under Eric Shell, Chukwueze's default setting was wide wing play, get the ball, try to cut into the box. What we used to criticize back then was his decision making in the final third. Okay, when to cross, when to pass, when to take a shot. But we didn't see that attempted at all from by Samuel Chukwueze. It was always trying to come to the central positions, always getting crowded out, not being able to hold possession, not being able to create anything, and then eventually the coach subbed him off. I felt like between him and the coach, somebody could have made him switch things up a little bit. Benjamin Frederick from the right side instead of Bartosai Samuel means that the coach did not have enough confidence in Bartosai Samuel. But I also felt like it meant that we did not have as much security in the center of our defense because Benjamin Frederick has been very good in that position. Benjamin Frederick is also not the best right-sided defender in the world. It's not the best right fullback in the world. I honestly would have, I said this even in my match preview, if you watch my match preview, I would have played Osai Samuel. I know people think he's a bit shaky, but I feel like, one, he would have been able to defend well enough, and he would have offered us a lot more going forward than Osai Samuel was able, than Frederick was able to offer today, because Frederick was not really in the picture going forward today from that right side. So maybe the coach, obviously the coach has his reasons. Maybe he thought Frederick was better suited to handle Mbuku. But that's something that I maybe would have done differently, but I don't get paid thousands of dollars to coach. I'm also looking at the decision to take off Tolu late in that game. Again, hindsight is 2020. But when you're going into a penalty shootout, I agree, Tolu was poor. I agree. I'm not even arguing that one with anybody. But on the field at that time, Tolu was probably the second best penalty taker. As poor as he was, maybe he should have kept him on the field. But now, obviously, if he kept him on the field and then he went and missed his penalty, everybody will say, the guy was obviously playing rubbish. Why did the coach leave him on the field to take a penalty? So, again, when you're looking at things after the fact, it's very easy to speak. I personally would probably just have kept him there because Tolu is a striker. He can strike a ball. Even if he's having a poor game, he can strike a ball. So I would have left him there because when the game ended and we only had Simon and Akko as penalty takers, people that actually take penalties, it was only Simon and Akko. And then you have Calvin Bassey stepping up for the first pen. You have Shemi Ajayi stepping up for a penalty. I felt like maybe the coach could have done better there. For the entire second half and the entire extra period, look, we might say that the players were tired, but boy, I think that game was managed very poorly. No attempts to hit them on the counter, no inventiveness at all, no clear idea in terms of how we were going to win that match. All that we were doing was, God, I beg, no let DR Congo score. God, I beg, no let DR Congo score. There was nothing from the coach or from any of the players that showed any desire to win the game. Forget the fact that I brought on Aaron Kudare. Aaron Kudare was only supposed to come and just ease the pressure on us a little bit. When they play it up, he can hold the ball a little bit and allow players to maybe come into the attack. It was just supposed to ease the pressure. It wasn't to go and find us a goal. I think that the coach could have done better there as well in terms of just managing it. In that second half, he got out coached. The players got outplayed. DR Congo were clearly the better side. In extra time, it was just attacking practice for DR Congo. It was defending practice for us. We got fairly lucky that their goal got disallowed. I mean, it was a foul, so I shouldn't say lucky. It was a foul. But their goal got disallowed. And look, we didn't deserve to win it. If we won it on penalties, it would have been a stroke of luck. It would have been the hand of God. But some people say that God does not interfere in football matters. He allows it to happen as it's supposed to happen. So, I think poor marks all around from the entire team, including the coach. I think everybody could have done slightly better. The only fairly bright spark for me in this game was Benjamin Frederick. They kept on coming at him. And yes, naturally he got beat sometimes, but he kept trying, and I thought he had certain good moments as well. Long story short, guys, we're not going to the World Cup. Long story short, we're not going to the World Cup. We'll go and play AFCON in December. We'll get to the final again. Then we'll move on with our lives now. I'm so sad, man. I'm so sad. I see a lot of South Africans that are trolling us in the chats. Look, I don't blame them, man. We went to go and report them. Last, the reports where we do everything, then still qualify. Now we no qualify. It's very unfortunate, man. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. What can I say? What can I say? It is very, very unfortunate. Look, somebody's even pointing it to my attention that we even scored a handball goal against South Africa that kept us in the contest, which is true. Can the Super Eagles not exist without Victor Osimhen? That's something that we need to really go and do some analysis. Like, can the Super Eagles really not exist without Victor Osimhen? Someone said if it was Osai, Nigeria would have considered more goals. That's what you think. Maybe I don't think so. But yeah, look, what can I say? The link has been posted. If you want to share your thoughts, if you want to join the show, please call in. Make sure that you are well dressed. Make sure that you have your camera on. We can hear you properly. And I'll give you a chance to share your thoughts. As you come on, please just remember that I'm not the one that played the match. Don't come and shout at me. Don't come and fight me. Don't come and argue with me. As you are sad, I'm just as sad. As you are pained, I'm just as pained. So please, because some people will come here. I told you, look, just come and say your piece. If you want to shout at the players. Don't shout at me. Nobody will play the ball. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, let's take callers. Mr. Alexander, welcome.
IoT, how are you? we know where this is gonna go. But you know what? Let me just keep it nice. The last game, people said I was negative. People said that we should give Nigeria some slack, 4-1. But I never said anything that will encourage negativity. All I said was, does this team genuinely want to go to the World Cup? That was the point I was trying to make. I said the midfield are not mature enough to be able to even compete. On paper, we have a good team. But when it comes to the time where we need them to step up, they don't. So for me, I'm going to remain positive today. I'm not going to, no negativity, nothing. I'm not going to even be angry. And you know what pisses me off the most? I'll tell you, IoT, yeah. My girlfriend is Congolese. Outside my house now, they're playing Michael Jackson. There's a Congolese block next to me. So already I'm riled up, I'm angry. But the reality is, let's call ball for what it is. They just were not good enough. From about 20 minutes in, all the way to the end, they were not good enough. The midfield, not good enough. The final third, not good enough. Congo was battling every second ball. And you and I know in African football, second balls are like the best time you probably can get the ball.
Yeah.
Second balls, we did not even compete with that. Jules, we did not even compete with that. Final ball, Moses, what's his name? Lookman, God knows what's wrong with this guy, cannot perform. You can't rely on just Osimhen every single time to feel that's the only way we're going to win games. If you remember IoT, many years ago when I came on when you were doing your Instagram, and I said that one of the biggest problems we have, yes, we can blame the NFF. I know people come out going to blame them, but it is also our recruitment. You have to understand the Super Eagles teams that came before us, they were not the most technically gifted in the world. Some of them were not the most well-known. Obviously, they built themselves up over the years, but they played with heart. You can never go wrong in life playing with heart. A Super Eagle team could lose the game or not make it to the World Cup, but still play with heart. So when people like myself came last for the Gabon, everyone was shouting, "Oh, we won 4-1. Give them some slack. Why are we so negative?" It wasn't me being negative. I was just trying to make a point that this team here does not look like they really want to go to the World Cup. And sometimes we have to call ball for what it is. Our team on paper should not even have gone through this process. And this is not us being very like, oh, you know, who do we think we are? Yes, football, it happens. It's a 50-50. If we wanted today in penalties, I would still say, come on and say the same thing. But we need to also have to look for the future. It's all about forward planning. And I keep saying this. We need to stop relying on the same usual suspects playing for the Super Eagles. We need to look at the younger players coming through. We need to start expanding our horizon. Some of the teams that have done well in the AFCON and going into the World Cup, some of them have had to revamp their squads. On paper, I've said this, we have the best squad to compete. But if we're not willing to compete, what's the point? Now we're going to do AFCON now. Before I go, we're going to do AFCON. We're going to go, it's the same players again. At no point should the players have to come public and asking for money. That should have been done. You've taken this distraction away from the job at hand. Did you see after the final whistle? If it was the old school Nigerian squad, they'll be on the pitch crying like this. Their head would be like this, crying, because they know they don't want to go back to Nigeria because somebody will stone them. That's heart. That's passion. That's what it's all about. Remember, you said it, IoT. Even if we lost, but we actually gave it 110%, people will say, you know what? It's a fair cop. You know, it's all good. You know, we'll come back next time. Congo wanted it, and they deserve to be in the World Cup. They wanted. I saw from Cameroon to how they played here today. We scored a goal and we just sat back. I'll be honest with you. There was no way we should slag off any of our defenders today. They did the job that they could do, and that was to defend the box.
Yeah.
They did their job. Our attackers, the people that are meant to score goals, the people that are meant to be on the final third, the people that are meant to take players on, didn't do that. They all went missing. And you guys play for some of the biggest clubs in the world, and you can't get the basics right. Remember, IoT again, I said 5 yards. Do you remember last year I said 5 yards? How can you have a midfielder get the ball? You've got 5-10 yards in front of you. Take the space. One person said, am I a coach? Well, guess what? I am a coach. I'm a UEFA coach. I coach. So when we're saying that Gabon sat back and let us have what we wanted to have, I know what I was talking about. With this game, Congo wasn't going to give us space. They won the physical battle. We knew they were going to win the physical battle. So we got to move the ball quicker. So in the final third, simple overlapping runs. There were times where Lookman would get the ball, and I'm just like, and everyone's just standing there. Even when this guy came on, the striker, Akko Adams, whatever his name is. Yeah, he came on. I don't even know if he's pressing, if he's overweight, or if he ate yam and maybe he couldn't run. I don't know what it is. He was doing wrestling. There's a difference between wrestling and wrestling. This guy was wrestling. You press properly, but he can't do it himself. For you to press, everybody needs to be doing their job. He was not pressing. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to remain positive, and I will be positive. Right now, I'm not talking to my missus. I'm maybe having a nervous breakdown right now. But, bro, I was hurt because people made it feel like I was being negative. And it wasn't being negative. It's just us seeing the game differently to understand. You know what? I wouldn't mind Nigeria. I saw something on Twitter, and someone said some people wouldn't mind us going to the streets of Lagos or around Nigeria and pick up players. Yes, we might not win a game, but at least they'll play with a bit of heart. That's all we ask for.
Let me ask you a question before I let you go. How do you feel about this? Because when I was speaking, I said we get to a penalty shootout. Yes, our best penalty takers are off the field. Osimhen is off the field. Arokodare is off the field. What do you think about neither Onyeka nor Ndidi stepping up to take a penalty?
Let's bring it closer to home. Isn't it? Wasn't it a scandal where I think there was a penalty and Sesko didn't take the penalty, and people thought, "What, bruv, you're a striker."
Yeah,
it's exactly the same situation. For me, I know Calvin Bassey. Calvin Bassey played for a grassroots team in my area in London. He played for the opposition team. I know who he is. Good player. Honestly, he plays with heart. We know him. But the reality is, I would never call him to take. You never allow the weakest person to take the first penalty. You want your strongest first, and then after, on the end, you want your strongest first, because the first person sets the pace for everybody. Yeah. So if you put somebody that doesn't take penalties and you put them first, what do you expect? He's nervous. You could see in his face, whether he scored it or not, it was the wrong decision. But let's keep it real. I'm not trying to say anything about the manager, yeah? But I'll keep it real. I was listening into I don't know if you heard it when they were in that huddle before the penalty, and you were listening. It looks like they were self-appointing themselves who would take the penalty, and there was a disagreement, because I saw something, I was listening to it, but it was very difficult to kind of hear it. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, nah, these guys don't look happy. But then they panned the camera to the Congolese side. These guys there were buzzing. They were buzzing for this penalty. They looked like they were united. No offense, I love Osimhen to bits, but bruv, the coach is the coach. Go and sit down on the bench. For Osimhen to be coming on the pitch, telling people what to do, telling people, are you mad? If that was my team, never go back and sit down. But that's the thing, and that's unfortunately the way the Nigeria Super Eagles is. They should not even call it Super Eagles. They should just call it Osimhen FC, because if he's not there, if he's not playing, we don't win. And Akko Adams wrestling. Our wingers disappeared. Our midfielders. The only people that I rate in this game today, whether or not people can say he gives us heart attack, is the back line and the goalkeeper. They did the job they could do. But we got to score goals to win. And if we can't score goals to win, we're back to square one. So that's what I have to say. Today, I'm positive. Everybody hear me. I'm positive. Nigeria will surely overcome. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alex.
Right. Thank you very much, Alex. Nice to hear from you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Always nice to hear from Alex. I like his perspective on things a lot of the time, even if we might not necessarily be on the same page. I like it. Okay, up next we have Mr. Theophilus, and then Ernest is after Theophilus, and then Sheung is after Ernest. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Ogayo. How are you now?
I'm as good as I can be right now. How are you?
Well, I am okay. It is what it is. Just looking at the game, after we got that goal, I was like, okay, maybe from here we can take this game on. But it seemed like we just gave the Congolese more impetus to come at us. Probably if we had scored the second goal, if Lukman had squared it and made it 2-0, we could have said maybe game on and hold on. But I knew from the very day when I watched the Congolese and the Cameroon game, I knew the midfield battle was going to be won by the Congolese, based on the kind of players they have and based on how the game was how they played with Cameroon. Unfortunately, our players, I don't know whether it was the exhaustion, I don't know whether it was tactics, I don't know what happened today. Maybe just something happened. It felt like they were in a trance and they didn't know what to do. It seemed like we were just lobbing the ball in hope that something will happen, maybe a bounce or a deflection. There was no game plan. There was no coordination. There was nothing. And when Osimhen went out, it was like all hope was lost. And it was evident. There was no pressing from the front line. Even threatening the Congolese defense. So there was really no pressing. And when you don't have any kind of pressing or any kind of pressure against your opponent, you've given your opponent the impetus to come at you because you are not even pressing them. You are not even being active enough, to engage them. Even if you do not have the control of the game, there should be some level of aggression and energy you need to impose on your opponents. At least be aggressive at them. Don't give them that luxury of them just roaming around, attacking you continuously. Because to be sincere, had it been the Congolese had a clinical striker in this game would have been wrapped up. It would not even have gone to penalties. Had it been they were more clinical up front, had it been they had somebody like a Wissa who wasn't injured, this game would have been wrapped up long ago. So it's just unfortunate that we are not going to go to the work for the second time consecutively. So at my mind, I was just thinking that, what, maybe they should just pack some home-based players and just go and prosecute this Nations Cup. It's the truth, because what is the point? I think it's just the right time for us to start building up another national team. Because I can remember 1990 when Westerhoff came, he had home-based players. He took them to Algiers 90, and that was where the build-up started up from. We started with home-based players. Maybe we have to start looking inwards rather than relying on our professionals. Let's start looking inwards. Is the Nigerian administration telling us that we do not have talents in Nigeria? As huge as we are, 200 million, we don't have talents. Even me, when I was in secondary school, I knew people. I knew that in my secondary school we had talent. Is that what they're trying to tell us? That there's no talent? So it's just so sad that this is how our football has gotten into. I was watching the game. Someone was saying that the national anthem, where they were reciting it, that none of the players could even sing it. I don't know what part, because it was a newer.
So they changed our anthem now. Some people never learn them.
Okay. But so I don't know. So I think just a lot of things were just wrong. A lot of things were just wrong. Our players were not just up for it. The substitutions also didn't even help matters. Osimhen got injured. Like the other caller said, he said maybe we should just name it Osimhen FC, because it seems like if Osimhen is not in the game, Nigeria can't score. It's pretty much evident. We can't score. Most of the game he didn't play during the qualifying games. We didn't do anything. It was when he came in, we started seeing results. So when a team relies solely on just a striker to score, then it becomes a problem. Our team USA 94, yes, we had a Rashidi Yekini, but you still had players who could make a difference. We had the Omokachi, we have the Amunikes. You had players who could make a difference, even when the Yekini was not there. But in this team, we don't even have anybody who can pinpoint that, if Osimhen is not here, who can make a difference? No, we don't. We don't have it. So it tells a lot about the team. It tells a lot. It tells a lot. Kudos to Chile. I know the guy tried, when he came in, that's when we started seeing some results. I would not say that we should let him go, personally. I won't say that, because we started seeing some results from his game. Maybe they could still give him a chance. But for me, personally, I just feel that we should just start revamping this team. If it means us bringing these players or something, or bringing new players to try out, start building for 2030, I think the earlier we start, the better. And also, our administrators, you see those ones, eh? If there was a way to just discard all of them, I'm telling you, because it starts from them. It starts from them. If the administrators are not doing what they are meant to do, imagine during a qualifying game. That's when our players started having issues with bringing up issue of money. If all this has been sorted out, just like this won't come up. All these things have mental and emotional. They play a lot. When a player is supposed to be thinking about a game, he's thinking about money you have not paid them since 2019. Why would even someone from another country want to play for Nigeria? Because of these players, okay, come and play for Nigeria. They won't. When they see things like that, why would they want to come and play when you are not organized? So a lot of things have to be set right, from our youth system to the administrators, the kind of players, hungry players. So I think we just need to do a whole 360 overhaul.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Theophilus, man. I can hear the sadness in your voice, but nah, so we see him. Thank you very much.
All right, Ayo, man, take care.
All right. Oh man, very, very sad day, very unfortunate situation that we're in. I want to say thank you to someone who supported the channel. Thank you very much, Ovier, for the super chat. Guys, please, I know that we're sad, I know that we're unhappy, but you can still support the channel and the effort that we put in with super chats. Every little goes a long way towards growing the channel, towards us continuing to create more content and being able to cover more games, more events. Unfortunately, we will not be covering the World Cup, but there's still the AFCON coming up next month, and whether we like it or not, because we love the Super Eagles, we are still going to be talking about it. Welcome, Ernest.
Hello.
There's a lot of background noise. I don't know if there's something that you can do about that.
At the background.
Yeah.
How about now?
Okay, go on.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Wow. This is so tough. Like, for the first time in a long while, I actually prayed for those boys. At a point, I was wishing, oh God, can you just do a miracle? Let something somehow just happen. Actually, I've been following it for a very long time, and I know you love Coach Eric Sher, but I think something is wrong with our team when it comes to coaching. Like, the teams keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Like, since he came, you could tell that, okay, there is a problem in our midfield. In terms of creativity, only Iwobi. Iwobi is a good player. Like, he gives some of those difficult passes, but we need another person in that midfield. Is it that, I don't understand, is it that the whole of Nigeria, all our players that are playing, can't he just take that risk? Okay, for example, now look at this Benjamin Frederick. If not for the Ahmed Musa stuff, do you know that they would have not gone for another defender to come and help? Would have still been stuck with probably Ajayi, maybe Ekong with the same kind of. Can't he just, like, is it scared of going out of the box and just do something for the team? Like, it's just so obvious. Okay, so now we just have to depend on Osimhen all the time. Just balloon the ball from the back. He come with the energy and just do his magic score. If he's not there, like, okay, when he went off, there was no even plan B at all. And I also want to ask, what is wrong with Onyedika? Like that guy from Club Brugge. That time that what's his name? Tolu came in. I was hoping, okay, if you're taking Iwobi out, Onyedika is not that okay. He's not that creative when it comes to attacking, but at least he can do something. Bring him in. It was Onyedika or somebody at that midfield that we need at that time. It's not bringing in Tolu and you're expecting us to balloon the ball to the guy, let the guy, and the guy was not even. He doesn't even know how to control the ball. He was just chesting everything away from him, heading the ball, just hoping that. But is that the right? This is Super Eagles we are talking about. So this is not even on the 17 or the female team. That's all you can come up as a coach, come up with as a coach. Like Osimhen is injured or whatever happened there, and your plan B is just I don't even know what we'll play today. Look at what Congo were doing to us. Look at their own substitution. You could see that the coach kept bringing intensity into this team. They were pushing us backward. But our coach, he was just there. Like there was no answer. No, how bad. Super Eagles is better than this now. Like, I don't see, seriously, I don't trust the guy. With what we play today, bros, 2030, we are not going to the World Cup. If this is what we are, no, seriously.
A lot,
Like,
a
there's
lot,
no
a lot
improvement.
is changing in 4 years. Don't worry. Hopefully,
There's no. See, if you leave chair, let's say we qualify for this World Cup. Now we are still going to go to the World Cup with this same set of players. Only Iwobi as an attacking midfielder there. Then Wilfred Ndidi. Then just the regular guy that we are used to. Come on, from the Nations Cup. See, I can't remember the last time the Super Eagles play game that we won confidently. Like, okay, it has all been okay. 1-0, 2-1. The match will just be, high tech. I don't even understand. Is that how we're supposed to play ball? This is the senior national team, and we keep doing like this. And secondly, see, there are some players that are not Super Eagles. We should tell ourselves the truth. This guy is gone, Moses Simon. Come on, that guy shouldn't be invited again. He has tried. Like, he doesn't even look at when they brought him in. I'm not even talking about the penalty that he missed, but his contribution. Why the game was how can you just came in like you were sitting down at the bench and you watch what was happening? Okay, they've studied Lookman or whatsoever, they couldn't align to go, but you're coming in with how bad? You just came, what you did, it was not helping in the attack. Even the defender said we are scared of himself. If you notice during the game at a point, they are refusing to pass him the ball. They'd rather go back, they keep going back instead of feeding him with it because I think they believe that he can't do anything with the ball. So they stopped giving him the ball. And this other guy too that came, what's his name? The one at the right wing, the fair guy.
educate.
Okay, come on. That guy, does he know what he's playing? That guy plays too much with the ball. Forget about the goal that he scored the last match.
Okay,
What is
30 seconds.
like the whole stuff? No, see, our coach, I don't trust that guy. At all. There is something lacking in terms of technicality and like if you even look at our bench, they are not reading nothing. They are not studying anything. They are not with any tablet. They are not even reading the game. They are just sitting there like, oh goodness.
All right.
No,
Thank you, Ernest.
so bad. I
can see you are frustrated, but don't worry. Better
it's
days
bad.
ahead.
You just feel like, okay, this thing is so simple stuff now. Just, I don't know.
All right. Thank you. Okay, I can hear the frustration in his voice. Just a quick comment here from Uche. Thank you for the super chat comments. Uche, he says it's not possible. The home-based players don't have good football education. We just have to be better with our recruitment. That the midfield was really flat. So I believe he's responding to a previous caller who talked about we should prosecute the AFCON with home-based players. Uche says it is not possible. We just need to be better with our recruitment. Okay. Next caller we have for this evening is Sean. Sean, welcome.
Good evening. I am.
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
First of all, I'm very angry tonight, but I'll be calm. Number one, this game is already shell. Tactically, it was very poor today. Congolese play with two fullbacks that are very good in one-on-one defending. I'm stuck on Masuaku. They are the best one defender in Africa.
Hmm.
You can't deal with them once. Secondly, this team from just saying when the big team up was full of midfield. What do you matter sample and Oyendika? You're not playing them at 20 squad. How do you mind them for? And as for Simon, I think last time you said that you are laughing when I tell that it's done. You are laughing. What have said that? It's not player, cannot be taking penalty. So for me, I feel that I pick your Osimhen. I pick your Osimhen and Benjamin Fredericks. We get play that out. And for that time, Bali. From the era that I make in the game, when I should try the best, make good save. Talking about the manager and the FA, and that the manager need to, if you keep the job, need to open his eyes very well. I don't know why they can't call you telling this squad. Every other people fed their squad. Because on this side, they fed their squad with 3 players. How can that? I try to call Otelin this thing. Thinking and about to the attack. No. And secondly, are we Osimhen FC? Are we Osimhen FC? I don't understand. Every time I'm not playing ball again. Simple header. Can't score. Anyway, for me, tactically, Police the study very well. And they beat their game. Second, I'm not no go at all. We just Bambiala, go please, go ahead, pursue. Are doing Lombo, boom. And for the manager again, I think you need to just try to, if you keep the job, try to just score. Now, it's very difficult because nobody play for Nigeria anymore. Those it's now one area, all those guys that want to play, they're not going to have console. I've lost our chance to get them players. No, you have to get this team again. Take my own best player. Which your best player? That one that beat the chant matchlessly. Or that one that can play in Cup Champions League very well. I beg. What did you do? People like Otele get this squad. People like this guy. And for Christ's sake, who selected that penalty shootout for the team? Is it the manager or the player? But I feel something acting them. So for me, everything was just off. From minute 24, them just truthful. And I don't know why that a manager always plays same pattern. He move Adema Lupon, bring in UK, he move Chukwueze, bring in Simon. No, just manager they don't read Google don't read him this man as play. Everything went well. And for lastly, when you remove I was supposed to bring add to echo penalty shot. That's what they do. But they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everything was planned. They know what the planning. Parents know what they're doing. Being in Echo plays after
Ekong is our first choice penalty taker normally. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the man that don't know what he's doing. Just being Echo for that was him. Just the play here back. What we are just for the penalty shot. That's all. So the penalty that drew. They lost our one penalty. Think about that. No, just wait my mood tonight. Anyway, I know what shall come. No, I'm not shall come down. I'm done. What do they not come with this team? They don't plan B. No, I'm done. Other for one matter. When last time this guy go see in EA Sports? When? No way. Can't find him now. But they don't come. I'm done. I'm true.
All right.
I'm done with Spike for now.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh boy. Sheon says he's done with the Super Eagles after the disappointment of not going for this World Cup. I have a comment here. Thank you for the Super Chat comment, Olayimika says, like I said after the Benin match, we need 3 perfect games in the playoffs to get to the World Cup, but inconsistency is our bane. I'm curious to see how Eric Shaw reacts and who he chooses and drops for the AFCON. Honestly, That inconsistency is a big issue. Big game against Benin, big game against Gabon, at least in the extra time period. And today we just looked like a shadow of the team that played in those two matches. Very, very unfortunate situation. But that is true. We have to be consistent and we are not able to be consistent. Abi Folami says 2022 and 2026. Would you say this current group of players is the most disappointing? That's a big question. 2022, a lot of the players were still similar players, still players that are here now. But obviously, we have some new boys. I don't even know, man. Like, I think this is more disappointing to me because a lot of our players are in their peak years now. The likes of Osimhen, the likes of Lukman, the likes of Iwobi, the likes of Calvin Bassey, they are in their peak years. This is supposed to be when they are going to give us their very best. And they were not able to live up to the expectation. So I personally am more disappointed in this edition. Also, considering the fact that FIFA graciously doubled the allocation for African nations, or maybe almost doubled from 5 to 9 and possibly a 10th one through the playoffs. And the Super Eagles are still not able to find a way through. I'm disappointed. I think I'm probably more disappointed this time than I was in 2022. 2022, I think my disappointment was for some other reasons. Alexander K, thank you for the super chat comments. He says start mixing home-based and foreign-based players. So Alexander K is calling for a mix in the personnel in the squad. Just importance that if we're bringing in, for me, I think it's a case of, look, whether you're based in Nigeria, you're based abroad, you should be good enough and you should deserve to be in the Super Eagles. The reality of it is that, without naming names, there's some players in the current team who I don't think are up to the standard that is required. Again, I know Benjamin Frederick got called up by proximity and ended up being very good, but I don't think that is a solid strategy to just keep calling players based on proximity. Let's actually look at who we think can come and do well. And Eric Shell himself, he told a truth that was not so true when he did his interview with the mathematical Shegon Egbami, because he said to make his team, he has to look at you and he has to think that you are able to come in and do better than who is already there. But then you call a player that is proximity, okay, that we're playing a game in Russia, he comes into the team, and then in two crucial qualifiers, the player doesn't see a single minute of action. Clearly, you don't think he's that good. You don't think that he's better than who is already there. So why did you call him up? Also, obviously, there are some other players that could have been used that the coach didn't use. So it's very interesting. But if you're calling any home-based, if you're calling any foreign-based, as long as the player deserves to be there, is good enough, is performing and can perform for us, sure. It doesn't have to be with where the person plays. Just that we know that the home base, like realistically, we know that the quality in the league is not very high. Alexander says, have a home-based shadow squad and foreign-based. I guess he's asking a question. If they have a Super Eagles B team that is filled with home-based players, they can, see, the logistics of managing two teams, they can barely manage one. I don't really see it happening, but I understand where you're coming from, Alexander. Okay, let me take my next caller. So I'm going to take PO, and then after PO, I'll bring on Smithlai. PO, welcome.
Hello, IoT.
This one where you dress like say you won't come rob me.
No, it's we're already having signs of winter here, so it's very cold.
Where are you, sir?
I called the last time I'm calling from India.
Okay. Welcome. Go on.
The last time Smithlai was here, so well, let me just go straight to it. The last time I called in, you and Smith, you made it seem as if I'm a prophet of doom. I don't want Nigeria to go to the World Cup. I don't. You see, everyone here is complaining. The players did this. The players did that. You should have squared the ball. There was no desire. There's a simple principle in life that says, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Most of the speakers here, everyone, I think it was Theophilus, yes. that actually remembered the NFF towards the end of his comment. Everyone here just, the passion for the game, I understand, but we are leaving the poisonous snake that is destroying the football. We are leaving it behind and facing the players. Oh, Osimhen should have played. Osimhen should have not played. Let me tell you something. Even if Rashidi Yekini did not play, the 94 squad there were loads of strikers that were in form. We could hardly play a game and say, oh, we miss Yekini. You might just say you miss Yekini because he didn't score, he didn't play. But there were more than enough. But every position had like 3 players. Clement Westhoff took his time to go through the league to build that team. The same mentality is what Stephen Keshi used in building the team for 2013 AFCON before they went to the World Cup. There was Godfrey Obabona, there was Sunday Umba, there was Ejike Ezonyi, mixing the home-based. But now, the NFF have completely destroyed the league. You saw how Mamelodi Sundowns took our best team out at home, at Remo there. I think it was 5-1. That was our best team in the league. So when you say now you want to come back and let us mix, from which league, please? Which league? Which league? The last time I called you and Smith, I told you that we have left the where the process comes from, the real process that produces the players, we have left it destroyed. Now we are depending on diaspora influx. Players that were born in Europe, players that want to naturalize for Nigeria, that want to play. It shouldn't be, it should be from this place there. But now we have destroyed home. The Under-17 World Cup is going on presently. We are not there. We all watched the Under-20 World Cup. It was disappointing. Only the female, only the women seem to give us a sort of semblance of joy. Even if they don't win, at least they'll come up with a medal. Everyone is forgetting that the NFF is the snake that has been producing the poison that is destroying the football. Everyone now is, oh, yeah, Nwabali tried. His antics are too much. I'm just laughing at everybody, honestly. Because this situation for me, I would say it's disappointing, but I'm also happy. Because I'm a realist. I don't like to rejoice on mediocrity. We have already planned to fail, and it has happened. And if we are not careful, even the AFCON will be a disaster, and the 2030 World Cup will also be a disaster. Because look at the progression of our football. Many of us have forgotten that Chukwueze and Osimhen came from 2015. Now there is no progression at all. Benjamin is the only one there now that played in the Under-20 World Cup. Only Benjamin. Is Benjamin the only talent we have that we can pick locally? Many of us have been forgotten that it was a mistake. By mistake, they just invited him to play that Unity Cup. Anyone who doesn't really think deep about Nigerian football, you are just disturbing your brain. The players didn't pass the ball. They didn't do this one. They didn't do, forgetting that it is complete maladministration that destroyed our football. That is the genesis of what we are suffering now. A complete lack of organization, a complete shambles, disastrous people that they put in that glass house. And we feel it's the football that once you don't get administration right, your football is already dead. There is nothing, it is not something that is not rocket science. Once your administration is in shambles, your football is dead. Let me stop here so that others can call in.
All right. Thank you very much, CEO. I hear you made some good points about our preparation. All right. That was PO. Harping on the fact that we need to plan, we need to prepare properly, and our administrators don't do a good enough job at that. Quick super chat comments here from Sports Ghana. Thank you for the support. Sports Ghana says AFCON needs to be a rebuilding tournament. Loads of players need to be dropped from AFCON. We need a breather. So he's saying that the AFCON needs to be a tournament that we use to, I guess, try out some new legs and see and start to work on building the Super Eagles of the next 4 years, if we indeed plan to qualify for the next one in 2030. That is even supposed to be a bigger tournament than the one that we've just failed to qualify for. So yes, I would love to hear some of those players that you think need to be dropped when you come on to share your thoughts. Sports Grinder, you'll be on soon. Okay, Bismillah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're back again with your sunshades and this your cap. But you're smiling, Bismillah. Before you go, Bismillah, you guaranteed us. You guaranteed us. You made us believe when a lot of us had no belief.
Yeah.
You said that the Super Eagles will be at the World Cup, but now we know that we're not going to be there. How do you feel?
Yeah, sad. I don't. There's no two things to describe it. I thought that destiny was on their side. When Congo couldn't score in the second half, even in the extra time, I just realized that even when we see that penalty, I was like, but it's just the way it is. See, like the other guy said, despite that I'm a very optimistic person, but sometimes too I'm a realist. If Nigeria qualify for this World Cup, it's like competitive failure. It's like compensating failure. That is it. So and the IoT, no matter the book you want to read for me, we don't deserve to qualify for this World Cup. We don't deserve it. We just finished second during AFCON. Jose Pasero left. We struggle to employ coach. I don't know that the sport ministry or this president can give NFF 1 billion. I don't know. I thought we don't have money. So if they give them that 1 billion, then it can pay the coach salary for like 10 months. Is it not? So I was wondering that they have to go to the mountain to go and save the night God pick. So that one and do to the Republic game and South Africa game. See, anybody can lose this game. Anybody can lose this game. See, if Senegal play this playoff, they might not go to the World Cup. The playoff is the toughest. That's one of the things. So when you are in your comfort zone, eating fufu, pounded yam in Uyo, when you should go and destroy Lesotho, you are in your comfort zone against Zimbabwe. When you have everything working for you, look at the way you are throwing bottles. Just that bottle we threw to Chawenda, Chirenwa, when he was about to score against us. It won't it be good? Maybe they could find us. Doesn't that bottle we throw? Doesn't that we drop ball, enter pitch, we kick ball, enter. Doesn't that what we do with that? Won't we be here? When you are at home, you do your best. When you have the chance, you do it. Now don't drag us to where they don't carry us where we don't know. That's why we are here. So IoT is just I've seen blame and counter blame and everything. I would say it's a IoT. You work with the most players, you scout players. You're saying that they call player. IoT is not about calling player. IoT we don't get player. IoT we don't get player. IoT, you know yourself that Wilfred cannot play 120 minutes in the space of 30 days. You know yourself. It was started after 30 minutes. You know yourself. But you know be firewood. You know. The boy that was dragging all about the pitch was Noah Sadiki. 20 years, just coming from under 20 in Anderlecht, played for Belgium under 20. He played for Congo. It was a training match for Congo in the second game. It was, in fact, I never believed that our football can go down like this IoT. When I saw Nigeria lose 4-0 on that 20, on that 20 women, no, on 17 women football to Italy, I never believed that what could happen. Even the Canada game 4-1, I never believed that. 4-0 to Argentina in the second round on that 20, I never believed that IoT. And looking at this one, that Congo will play us like this IoT, I never believed that it's going to actually what happened in our lifetime. I don't believe that. So football, everything is changing. Everything is changing. So the players, I don't really blame. See, IoT, you give what you have. You don't give what you have. See,
do you think they gave their all today? Do you think they gave their best?
For me, those guys, see, when Kevin Bass went to go and take penalty, I'm just saying it though. He reminds me of Alonzi against sometimes you want to turn Ronaldo when you know that you are Emelieski. With due respect to Emelieski, he wants to go and take penalty. He wants to shoot this thing. I was like, this one are over the bar. And you see, there's some things that you just know. It's not about saying that he had a very good game, but the issue is that it doesn't go to penalty.
But okay, so again, the question I asked Alexander this question earlier. Why do you think so? First of all, let's look at the coaching decision. So the coach takes Arokodare off in extra time with 5 minutes left in extra time. Your best penalty taker, normally Ekong, your number one penalty taker is on the bench. You don't bring him on, you bring on another center back. Now I know that maybe you don't trust Ekong as much as you used to, but 5 minutes of extra time left to play in a back three. Ekong, are we saying Ekong is that bad that in 5 minutes he will come and spoil the whole thing? The game ends and you have only 2 penalty takers on the field in Moses Simon and Aquadam. Those are the only 2 people that normally take penalties. Was that a bad decision from Eric Shell?
So me, if I say that Eric Shell got his project good, he started well, but Sibet got injured after something minutes. You have to drag him to the extra time and to first half. You can assess him, but maybe he can actually continue. So since then, I think after Sibet got injured, the game changed. Because the Congolese realized that, okay, we can actually push for slightly. Since Victor is not actually here. I think Eric Shell made a mistake. I don't have badge. I don't know the condition of the players. But from my own knowledge, I just think that he made mistake today. The one mistake is this. There's no Victor Osimhen, our best bet is a 3-5-2 formation. Honestly. It's a 3-5-2 formation. See, when we criticize Arokodare here, people came on social media, agency, praise something. I told you at your team that Arokodare will edge defensively. What is happening today? For him not to, it was not his first header. Was it the first time you see that header from him? Was it the first time?
No.
Against Lesotho, the same thing. Zimbabwe, the same thing. Was it the first time? He cannot head with his forehead. Is with this head. That is defensive header. You are a defender your team now when you are playing. I know you are retired now. You will head the ball like this. He said it was a defensive header. See, with due respect to him, I don't know who is backing him to be the national team. He doesn't deserve to be there. Doesn't deserve to be there. When Umbere said that he should go and be a defender, people went after Umbere. You are not good. You are this, not that. Umbere is right. For me, the coach that brought in Ekong, but I think that solution happened when Benjamin Fredericks went down. And now realized that, okay, maybe they brought him in initially to see maybe he can actually play as a right back. But you just realize that, since Benjamin is continuing, let me bring Arokodare out. That is what I just think that happened. It could be from the moment. But when the guy changed to like a 5 formation at the back, we became more stable, was it not? Like toward the end of the game, we were more stable. At least we were closing them down further and things like that. So for me, if they have to replay this game now, I don't think it will win. But the issue is that I think those that deserve to actually win that game. So for me, I think that the luck and everything will only carry us this far. But IoT, we don't have enough players. People are talking about Otele. If you bring Otele, you will not do more than Lukman. I have voiced the boy. See, all of us, it's like you want to marry a new wife. The new wife you want to marry, always more beautiful than the one inside. It's a lie. When the new wife should come, you will know that they are the same. Hey, go and bring this person. Go and bring this person. Go and bring this person. It's a lie. Now, say, I'll go and bring her. Now, people are talking about her to say Boniface there. When he was there, he's not a killer. So, it's always like that. We just need to do something right and get our ball on track. For me too.
So what's so funny, because you mentioned Boniface now. You're right about a lot of things that you're saying, because when Boniface was in the team, people were insulting Boniface. Bring Arokodare. Arokodare has scored 29 goals for Genk. Bring Arokodare. When Arokodare scored his first goal, everybody say, you see, when Boniface has played how many matches did not score. Now the same Arokodare is the one that is being bashed. They will bring somebody else now. People will still bash when the person has no expectation. Our players, are just not, with all due respect to them, they are just not that high level. Like, let's be realistic. Okay, Tolu Kudari, when I said earlier that he wasn't a Bayern Munich level striker, he was upset at me. Can anybody now come and say that I was wrong about that comment? And it's not a knock on the player. It's just a realistic overview of the person's situation. Again, with all due respect to Tolu Kudari is the third choice striker at Wolves, the worst team in the English Premier League. There is their new signing, but then they said, nah, this guy is going to be third choice. There's a reason for all of these things. Again, Osimhen leaving that field obviously cost us. Osimhen is one person that we can rely on. Like I was saying earlier, I paused it on Atalanta because Atalanta break our star boy. Ademola Lookman has not looked the same since the summer and since everything that went on with his club. So Lookman not being a factor in the game, Osimhen unfortunately going off at halftime, and the team just looked entirely out of it, and we're out of contention. We always said it that if we get past the African playoffs, then we'll more than likely reach the final. But even in my match preview, I said it. I expected this game to be tougher than the Gabon game, but I felt like we would. I didn't know that Osimhen would get injured. I didn't know that some other things will happen. I still felt like we would win. That we will win the game, and it's unfortunate, man. It is very, very unfortunate. I'm honestly so sad. I'm so sad. But Smith, looking to the future. Next month now we're going to the AFCON. There's no time for us to lick our wounds. Next month we're going to the AFCON. Do Nigerians have reason to be optimistic? Sports Ghana left a comment and said AFCON needs to be a tournament where we rebuild. Some players leave. Maybe the likes of Ekong, some people might say Ekong doesn't need to be there. Shebi wanted to retire before the last AFCON. Some people are saying Simon should not be there. Some people are saying Iwobi should not be there. How do you feel about the AFCON that's coming up next month?
For me, when you want to rebuild something, IoT, are you going to build a house without cement? Are you going to build a house without gravel?
In the Western world, they build with wood.
Okay. Are you going to build a house without wood? So, because if you want to build a house, you need to have the right instrument, the right materials to build the house. Who are we building with? Who do you want to build with? Okay, you want to go and build with Daniel Mamani? I will reserve my comment about Benjamin Fredericks for now. I will reserve my comment about that because it's the heat of the moment. I will not say anything for now. I'll just keep it that way. What I will just say basically is that it's not a rebuilding AFCON. The one thing is that we need to get our age grade sorted so that we can be able to get players to actually World Cup. Who have mentioned home-based players? IoT, which player do you want to rebuild with? There's nothing.
Again.
So for me, I just think IoT is a very big mess. Honestly, I am very big mess. It's not. I've spoken that. I saw that comment, but IoT, I'm sorry about that. It's not rebuilding. I want to say this thing before other people come up so that I won't take too much time. So I spoke to a super good player. He said, "This team is finished." He said it.
He said this team is finished.
Yes. He said it. He said this team doesn't have depth. He said if any one player is not having a good day or 2 or 3 players, the whole thing is off. He said some players are joining the national team there just for coming. He said there's nothing there. He said, who do you want to bring? He mentioned that when he was in national team, there was a certain Chelsea player that was in front of him. So he was playing, he was coming on, he was monitoring the Chelsea player. But who is monitoring him? Who is there? Nobody. There's no proper transition. There's no proper transition. We just want to become Ronaldo and Messi at once. There's no build-up. There's no proper transition. So for me, we cannot rebuild. We cannot rebuild at all. This time around now, the first thing is this. I'm happy that Ibrahim Guzo is going. Because that is it. In Nigeria, if you don't get World Cup tickets, you are not. And congrats to Amaju Pinnick for a very job well done. Because he was the one that gave us Ibrahim Gusso, someone that were, why? You will miss me, yo. You will miss me, yo. This type of person that he gave us. So, congrats to Amaju Pinnick for that. But IoT, on the rebuilding, I'm just trying to digest everything. I wrote some things down. I'm not even following it. I'm short of words. But I'll just say basically is this. Let's just go and go somewhere, and Nigeria will be praying that you can't see the World Cup now because of Trump water. We don't cancel it. We pray that everything should spoil. It will not spoil. They will play the World Cup in America. So what you should pray for is that our African team should perform well, so that they will not drop our slot next time. I think we will qualify for the next World Cup if we can get it right. But now, I think it is sad.
But Smilai, here's the thing, you see, I also want to believe that, okay, we'll be there in 2030. But this is the same way that we believed we'll be there in 2026 after missing out in 2022. If we don't start to put in the groundwork, if we don't start to plan properly, all these teams that are qualifying for this tournament, it's not because they just prayed to God and it happened. It's because they had clear visions, they had clear plans, and then they followed those plans to get to this point. Whether in Africa or outside Africa, these teams plan for these 4 years. Between now and 2030, what changes are we actually going to see in our football administration? What changes are we actually going to see in the way the Super Eagles are run? The NFF would even probably be happy now that they don't have to look for money to go to the World Cup and to do all these things.
No, they will not be happy.
Okay, because they would have made money too from qualifying. But it's like, if we don't prepare properly between now and 2030, look, snap our fingers. I remember doing live stream after we drew against Ghana with not qualify. Now again, it's like time flies like so fast. It's 4 years later.
No,
live
the
with not
World Cup
qualify.
qualifier for next year, for 2030 Cup, starts next year.
Yeah, it starts after. That's what I'm saying. Quick. We'll be there again in qualifying round. I hope we actually do something between now and 2030, because if not, we'll be here again in 2030 after I'll be 2029. By that time, maybe I would have moved into my mansion. You people,
sorry guys for taking your time. How old were you when we started this World Cup qualifier? And now that you now? 2 years done. 2 years don't enter your age. You can see this World Cup qualifier of torture from 2023 to 2020. This thing of marathon World Cup qualifier, it is now the way I do it, and she was ended. Cornelius to Congo, the man that's probably $1 million to go and be looking for the money now. So thinking that they will not win. So thank you, IoT, for your time, and thank you, folks. Are
you going to do your tactical review of the game?
Which tactical review of the game? I'm not doing tactical review. The issue is I struggle to digest the game even now. I just realized that 3 mistakes actually what happened, and I think actually what cost us. So from the coach, from some of the players, and I'm going to say this in value. So when I called out Alex Iwobi, he said that I should not be a Iwobi hater, and I'm going to say it here. See, IoT, if you have look at Chasset, remember, he has played around 9 times for Congo. They're Congo. Look at it. He has never been to the World Cup in his life. I know Iwobi has played at the AFCON final, played at the World Cup before, scored the goal that qualified for the World Cup. But IoT, when you are that type of experienced player, should be more of encouraging. Not be they could encourage you. Now you suppose they take the initiative for yourself. See, IoT, you do the simple things in this game. No, it will be what? Narrow margin. That type of ball. You know that Bakambu is already free if you lose that ball. I know that it's just instinct, but IoT, that was the only visible mistake we made in the first half. So, and IoT, it's just that I like the player, but it's just that I don't know how he got 90 caps. He doesn't. I mean, if he leaves now, we're going to miss him because someone that will replace him will not be as good as he will be. But the problem is that time flies. A young player turning to old, and suddenly we don't. It's just that I don't think he fully developed for Nigeria.
All right. Thank you, Smilai.
Thank you
very much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. That's Smilai. Always entertaining. Always insightful. Okay, so just to jump through the callers quickly. So we're going to have Adnan up next. After Adnan is Sports Grinder. After Sports Grinder is Chika, then Adedotun, then Munachi, then Amoto. So yes. Adnan, welcome.
Hey, T man. Today was tough, but I feel like with Osimhen going off in the to start the second half, and the team just looking completely lost of ideas, it's kind of like papering over the cracks if we would have gone through. And like this is a real opportunity for them to like do an overhaul in the NFL. I'm not optimistic that'll actually happen, but when you see other African nations progressing and having a plan, you start to wonder about Nigeria football right now because domestic league, the Chan Eagles, even U17, U20 is just like not a great pair right now. And we thought the World Cup could maybe like save that a little bit, but now it's back to reality. It's tough. We can talk about the game and tactics and why is Ekong not coming on to take a penalty, or why are all of our penalty takers substituted off, and why didn't Ndidi or someone else try to, step up, and take a leadership role? But DR Congo, I think, deserved to go through to the playoffs. If we're really honest, yeah, I think it even hurt more when we lost to Ghana a few years ago, but this one just hurts because it's consecutive and like there's so many Nigerians in North America who would have supported the team there. But like I think it's just time for I don't know how, but the NFL to look in the mirror. Some people got to step down. I don't know if you got to protest or anything, but I know it's not
Step
gonna.
down.
Yeah, okay. We need to protest, or just like the players were protesting for their bonuses until something changes. Because I don't know. It's just not good enough. Man.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just not good enough.
I agree with you. It's definitely not good enough. As far as step down, they know they step down for Nigeria.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's
So that
wishful thinking, I guess.
I said in 3 days' time,
Uh-huh.
Super Falcons are going to win the National Team of the Year at the CAF Awards.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
same NFF president Ibrahim Gusso is going to go on stage.
yeah.
He will receive the award. He will act as if he did some fantastic job to help them to win the
Yeah.
award, and everything is going to
The women's team wins in not because of them. They win in spite of them.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a big shame. It's a big shame.
Yeah.
But I based on your name now, I can see you're a Liverpool fan. So unfortunately now you're supporting two struggling teams. But
I know.
it
With
is
high hopes, two
well,
teams with high hopes who just crashed in the last few months. But when Nigeria drew Zimbabwe in March, I thought it was over, and then they drew South Africa the next round of qualifiers. But then it's like the hope that kills because the Eritrea situation gave Nigeria the chance to start over in the playoff. But nah, over the 10 games before, Nigeria were too dependent on Osimhen, and they didn't really deserve to go through, unfortunately. Yeah, but I'll support the other African teams at the World Cup, maybe if I can get to a game.
all right. Thank you very much, Adnan. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All righty. Okay, that is Adnan. Quick super chat comment here that I want to take from Alexander Kuye. He says, we have no real leaders, and he puts the real leaders in caps in the team. Let's name one. Real leaders in the team. I mean, we know that Ekong is our leader, even though he's an off the field leader at this point. On the field, probably the biggest leader on the field is Victor Osimhen in terms of the way he plays and trying to get everyone else to rise to his level and to play with the same level of intensity that he plays at. Other than that, Wilfred Ndidi is technically a leader in the team, but we know that Ndidi is not the most vocal, is not the most animated type of leader. So, and then Daddy Simon is also a leader in the team, even though he's also not the most animated or most vocal person. But I understand what you're saying. I would rather say we don't have real fighters in the team, not necessarily leaders, because leadership comes in different ways. But that fighting spirit, you just, and again, I'm not saying that they're not trying hard. I'm sure that they're trying, but we don't see that fight like that from a lot of people other than Victor Osimhen, where you can obviously see him trying hard. And not everyone is going to run like the crazy guy that Osimhen is running everywhere on the field, but you can just see when you know that somebody is giving his all and is giving everything. And I'm not saying that they didn't, but it wasn't obvious for us to see. In a lot of instances in today's game. It's unfortunate, but our problem is multifaceted. That's the honest truth. Our problem is multifaceted. It's not one person or one thing per se. Sports Grinder, welcome.
Oh yeah, how you guys doing, man? Today was a sad day, but but it was just second chance at life for the World Cup. So I'd already removed my mind from this World Cup, so it doesn't really hurt. But it's just that they brought the opportunity again, you know. But it's what it is. I knew these playoffs were going to be tough. Either Cameroon or DRC, I knew they were going to be tough. Even if Anguissa was going out, like either one would have been tough. To the game itself, I agree with Smith. Like the moment you determined Osimhen was going to go out, we had to make two subs immediately. Bring in bring in a defender for Osimhen to change to three, and maybe think of bringing in a midfielder like Onyedika immediately to replace Chukwueze especially, um, and maybe have Lukman just play up front for a minute, or let Chukwueze get inside, play a little bit, see if it's not working out, then make the change. This Chelsea formation, it, it hinges a lot on how, like on Osimhen. If Osimhen is not there, we can't even make any pass because the formation can be attacked easily. But because of Osimhen, defenders don't push up, so that gives our midfielders chance, to have some space. The defenders are not pushing up against us, but because of the threat of Osimhen. But once Osimhen is not there, the opposing side will come. They will come because they don't fear anything. Like we didn't put any threat at all. Simon Moses, at some point, I didn't even know he was even in the pitch. Like it's when the ball would go to him, I'm like, oh man, this guy is even here. Self, was he was off color. Like we should have just let Lukman play, even though Lukman was playing bad, but Simon Moses played horribly today. Like he played nonsense, pure nonsense today,
Yeah.
and he crowned it off with missing a PK. But that's fine. It's happened. It's happened. At least we've missed two World Cups for the first time in a row. Would that is that going to stop us from missing 2030? Like looking at the future right now, I don't even see us qualifying to the next World Cup because if you're to look at the pool, we don't have any player pool like coming. Like the last pool that is there is Boso's on the 20, and that's because I'm considering Nadi. I'm considering maybe Oguche because I always hear one guy talking about Oguche. But if you look at that team, who again? Like, there's really no one in that team. Then if you want to put Akin Samira, if you remove that set, we have nothing coming in, and we're gonna miss next year's under 17 because we just the under 17 going on now. It's not because of this one we just missed. We
Yeah.
just failed to qualify for the next AFCON. So that means we're going to miss 2026 World Cup. And there's a chance we will also miss another under 17 because these guys are not even doing anything. Then the under 20, they will likely 1 month or 2 months at a time. Maybe they may ask Bami to come repeat class again
No,
and
no,
see
he's
whether
ineligible. He's ineligible for the next one.
man, he's not 18 or 19. They can stand his age for one more year and then skip it. They can skip him getting or like man, Nigeria can hold ages for a year.
Mm.
But I don't see anything going on. Like there's nothing in the pipeline. And us missing, like when you miss the World Cup, it sets you off 2 years in getting diaspora talents.
Hmm.
There's no diaspora. Like we're not going to get any diaspora in the next 2 years easily. Like except that diaspora really likes us. There's really nothing for them. Most of these guys don't really care much about AFCON, so they don't have a 2026 World Cup to go. They're likely not going to come in the start of the World Cup qualifiers. So we're looking at the next time to start getting diaspora talent. We're looking at maybe early 2028 or late 2028, and then maybe we can take them to the 2029 AFCON and complete like a lot of qualifiers then. But it's like I don't even see any hope. Like from where I'm sitting, like I don't even see any hope.
Mhm.
Now, I had said we should use AFCON as rebuilding. Even though I said I don't have hope on players, but let us start bringing in the young guys like Nadi now. NFF should not mandate that, hey, since you didn't make the World Cup, you must win AFCON. No, football has changed. Like, I don't even think we'll win this. Like, we'll get into the semifinals in this AFCON. Like, if this is how Congo played us, just imagine what Senegal I watched yesterday against Brazil would do to us, what Morocco would do to us. So, like, NFF should dead that talk of winning the AFCON. We should rebuild. There are a couple of players that need to go. Like, there's no point knowing that you're bringing a player to play your left wing and you're shutting down that left wing. Nothing is going to happen. Like, there's no threat at all. Like, Moses Simon brings nothing. He needs to leave the national team. Indeed, he has done his part, but he can play AFCON, but he needs to go after AFCON. A lot of players need to be phased out of this team. Then I hope we do keep Shell. He's doing a good job, but I saw that he was heavily outfoxed today. But we need to leave Chell and see whether he can, do some scouting. I heard people talking about um, home base, where our home base is dead. Like we can't even, like, let's forget about home base. Like, okay, if you look at Congo now, DRC are on the verge of going to the World Cup. They because they're not going to be seeded, they have 2 games to get to the World Cup. They are on the verge of getting to the World Cup and they can do it. But their clubs started going down. I guess maybe because of this war thing, their clubs started going down. DRC is not really known for all these youth football team. What did they do? They brought in their former defender, Gabriel Zakwani. That's their technical director. The guy knew that DRCs are spread a lot in Europe, Belgium, Netherlands, everywhere, France. He went on a diaspora pursuit. Once there's going to be a set of players that will be phased out of DRC will not be able to line up local players. Like they'll just fully have diaspora, like in Morocco, fully just have diaspora players. That is the focus. There's nothing bad with if you want to go to diaspora route, but you must have a plan. You cannot say, I don't want diaspora. You're not doing anything in the local front. Something has, like, you must have a plan. If you're not going to go local, you go fully diaspora. Nigeria, we're neither diaspora, we're neither local. We're not even improving anything. We don't have any players. So we have a lot of problems. Like, we need to situate what we're doing. And I want to defer with Smith here. Smith said Gusau will go because he didn't win the World Cup. I don't think I've seen an NFF chairman that didn't do 2 terms. In fact, they're going to even in their next extraordinary AGM they will have, they're going to pass him a vote of confidence. Like, and he's gonna sweep the next election, like maybe 14-1 votes. Like it will be a landslide. They will arrange it for him. So let's forget it. That's why I know Gustav is still going to be in power. That's why I don't see our football moving forward. That's why I know we're going to miss 2030 World Cup as well. So it's sad. And then in terms of the penalties, I know you said it's surprising Onyeka and Ndidi didn't come up for penalties. Maybe they miss in training, you know. Maybe Bassi used to hang all his penalties. You never know. Like, that's why they were like, okay, you go. But I fault Chell. When I saw Wazem coming in, I thought Benjamin was the one going off. But when I saw Wazem coming in for someone else and Benjamin was still in the field, I'm like, this does not even make sense. This is an Ekong change. You need to bring in Ekong and he will just play there. It's 4 or 5 minutes remaining. If we concede, then we concede. It's what it is. But at that point, everybody was preparing for penalty shootout. It doesn't make sense. Ekong should have gone first for us, and who knows. But it's happened. It's happened. I I actually don't feel bad. Like you feel bad when it hits you. Like, oh my God. But I already expected like months ago that we're never going to go to the World Cup. They just stretched my hope,
See,
and now it's gone
see,
back down again.
but that's the thing. Even me, I remember being on live and losing my hope. But then the hope came back. The belief came back. The boys, after that Benin Republic game, I said, what? These boys want. I was like, they want it. They are giving everything. And
Yeah,
I had a lot of belief that we were going to make it eventually. And, in a way, it would have been a lot of heartache to be now after this game. Now we'll not be waiting until March again. Then March will come and then we'll be thinking about it in a way where we're not going. We know we're not going. Let's all move on with our
yeah.
life.
Let's just play our friendly match and call it a day.
But
Yeah, yeah.
it's unfortunate, and what you said, you're right. Maybe Bassi hangs them top corner in training. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Shemi. I don't know. For me, I just look at it that in general, based on, again, there's no formula for who can take a penalty or not. But in general, we know that strikers are usually the best strikers of the ball, and then there's
Yeah.
also the likelihood that maybe like a fullback is usually good because they are used to like playing those whipped balls and things like that.
Yeah.
But for me, I just felt like in the moment, Onyeka Ndidi should take a little bit of leadership, because it appeared when you saw them huddling and talking, it appeared as if the players were choosing themselves. It's a more so a thing of, okay, how are you guys feeling? Who wants to take? Okay, which one do you want to take? And I just feel like Ndidi as captain, Onyeka as one of the older, more experienced players in the team should have been able to say, you know what, at least even if you don't want to take an initial 5, before you are sending up Shemi Ajayi, then I don't care what you tell me. Shemi Ajayi does not hang them top corner in training. No,
No, no. But the thing is
what
that
you tell me.
from sudden death, it's people that didn't want to play. So
Yes, I agree.
it becomes like a choice of, oh boy, you won't go. You won't go.
That's what
So
I'm
anybody
saying.
wants to go at that time.
The captain and the other experienced player, they need to be confident in that situation. You cannot send a center back that does not. Have you ever seen Shemi Ajayi shoot from anywhere on the field before? You cannot be sending him up. Let's even say Calvin Bassey. Calvin Bassey is one of the senior players in the team. Okay, so Calvin believed that he would score. Obviously, he didn't go there planning to miss. He believed that he would score. I as much as I'm sad that he missed, I give him credit for having the balls to step up and say, I'm going to go and take it. But then, when it gets to sudden death and Shemi Ajayi is the first to step up, when we have Ndidi, we have Onyeka that have not taken penalties yet.
Yeah,
I look at it that, come on,
that was somehow. No, in sudden death, I thought Ndidi would have gone first with the armband started off.
Shemi Ajayi has never taken shots. If it's not header, Ajayi cannot attempt. So I was like, what? Once he stepped up, I was in a good touch with my friends. Once I saw Shemi Ajayi, I said, oh my, they fear. Because I've never seen this guy shoot a ball. And I'm not saying he couldn't have scored. He could have scored, but he did not. And I just look at my leader and say, boy, when we needed you to you went to hide.
I thought Ndidi would have, like, even if as a captain, like even Chancellor Bemba didn't take, but he took the first one in sudden death and won it. Yeah, but I thought even as a captain, if you don't trust your abilities, you either go first or you go somewhere in between 2 and 3 so that there's still leeway.
There's time to recover.
There's still leeway to recover. I expected he should have gone. Like, truthfully, I thought it was going to be Simon, Ndidi, Ako, and Ejuke, to play. No, I never expected Bassi at all.
I didn't expect Bassi. I expected Bruno because, again, I always feel like fullbacks have pretty good shots on them. They can, even if they don't know how to, they can place it and just play that crossfield shot, and that's what I expected. But I did not see, any way that Bassi and Shemi getting to sudden death, and Shemi, you know what? Let's not harp on it too much.
Yeah, that's
2020. But thank you, Sports Ghana, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, take care, guys.
Thank you. Okay. We have to run quickly, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people left. We're already kind of at 2 hours. So please, let's just try to keep our thoughts. I know you guys have been waiting, so I want to give you enough time, but also I want to be able to take everybody. So please, if we can just run through as quick as possible, that would be great. Chika, welcome.
Thank you, IoT. Yeah, I just decided to show my face once again, and because I remember I showed up the first day Eric Chell played his first game, and I told you clearly that we're not going to World Cup, and you said, how can you say that? And I said that we're not going to make it, even when we got the second chance to go, and we still messed it up. So let me tell you what exactly is happening, or what happened, and why I said that. So the problem with Nigerian football is political. It's not, people say, oh, NFF, NFF. If you ask them, what exactly is NFF doing wrong? Most of them can't tell you what NFF is doing that they shouldn't do. So that's number one. But political. So I do believe that whenever we figure out the political system in Nigeria, everything else will fall in place. No system is working at the moment. No, like a section is working, and football is going to be the same. And if you watch what has been going on, I mean, the junior under 17, we're not there already, and it goes down. The girls going to be affected very soon. I heard somebody say the first lady has already hijacked the Falcon, and you'll be shocked if that's actually true. But let me tell you exactly what is going on. If we want to get it, we should ask ourselves a question. This coach that NFF is hiring, can any top Europe countries hire this coach? For example, we hired Pesero. You ask yourself, can the Portuguese take this man to lead their national team? If the answer is no, then that's a wrong choice. And we are not going anywhere with that choice. And that is a fact. So when we ask ourselves, can Brazil hire a Richet? The answer is no, because they're serious. And you're going to say, okay, they are Brazil. Then what made them different? They have two heads, and Nigeria has one. So that's a fundamental question that we need to ask. First of all, before we can, get it right in football. People will come up here now and tell you, okay, Westerhoff wasn't that, technical when it started. Nobody knows about him. But football has changed. If you watch, football isn't that, I will say sweet. I use the word sweet as it used to be when I was growing up. Reason is this. Now people play skills. They don't play talent anymore. So football changed over time. Westerhoff could have utilized the talents we had in Nigeria in those days to shine. But now what we need is skill. It could be the coaching skill. It could be the player skill. Now tell me how we're going to play 90 minutes of a game with one single style. Only 2 attempts were made for 90 whole minutes. And you keep playing the same thing over and over, and you sat down and watched the games. The guys keep playing the same thing. No, a question needs to be asked. So it boils down, or it goes down to the skill of whoever is managing the game. So I wrote a few things down, and I'm going to read them, and I will get off so that others can have a chance. So now, number one, everybody, we've talked about the changes made, which I don't think they're crazy, actually. I mean, if you watch a real coach, I will tell you, Richel, throughout this qualifying series, he played only 4 real coaches. No, 3 actually, real coaches. You see, all others, they are all, by grace of God, will win the game. But among all the coaches he played actually 3 real coaches. And this guy today is one of them. The coach of Gabon was another real coach that he played. And somebody will say, oh, we beat Gabon 4-0. We beat Gabon 4-0 because the guys were energetic. They were younger and energetic. And so these other guys were older. And when the 90 minutes elapsed, they ran out of their energy. And this guy utilized that and ended them. I came to your session. I said this game is just an elder abuse. No, it wasn't too technical like that. I know you actually saw the post. I probably laughed about it, but that was what happened because the guys were younger and they played older guys and they used their stamina to dominate the ending of the game. Now look at where what can tell you about a good coach. Pesero was another good coach we had, but not the best. He was a complete coach. And look at what a coach does. When you see a fault, it's like leadership. When you see a fault, when you take a new position, you sit down and know what's wrong with this team. What can I do better? Where can I fix a problem or what needs to be improved? If there is nothing left to be improved, then you sit down and use the tools you have. Pesero looked at the tools he had. He knew the only space there was Nwabali. He sat down and started looking for uh, keepers here and there until when he got Nwabali. If it seems everything else was fixed. Now I can still hear Nigerians clamoring, why not get Onyeka? Why not do this? Why not do that? Because Nwabali is actually showing some tantrums. And they forgot where we came from. And back to the conversation, Pesero saw that and he fixed that. That's what coaches do. He noticed he had some tools that were not really that capable. He knew he had no midfielders, so to say. He just had a bunch of attacking. He doesn't have attacking midfielders rather. So what did he do? He made plans with what he had and kept packing the balls until we found ourselves at the finals. And he kept complaining. He was playing this, he was playing that, but he actually got results. So, but now we have somebody who is playing that thing everybody wants. But I tell you one thing: if we go to AFCON, we're gonna crash out at the group stage because we're gonna end up playing 3 draws, and we will crash out. Mark my word, unless we are not going with Eric Chair, because people will get to know. They will know this is the lapses, and when we score,
Final thoughts, please.
I know you won't like what I'm saying. So let me go straight to the point. My final thought is this. If we go with him, I know everybody loves him. Oh, he's the best thing after jollof rice. But we're gonna crash out at the group stage if we continue. What Nigeria need is this. We know we have players. Those players, you can overhype them all you want. If they were in 96, only 3 players will find themselves there. And because of that, what we need is a world-class coach. And that is it. A world-class coach that can use what is available to get the best out of them.
All right.
Anything outside of that, again, we're going to crash out.
All right. Thank you very much, Chika. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Just because we're out of time, I can't really take too long with each person now. Let me just quickly take the super chat comments that I have here. Uche said, "We don't need a top coach. Can anyone hire the Moroccan coach?" So Walid Regagram, if I'm sure I butchered his name, but Walid Shah. He's saying, would anyone hire him in Europe? So just making a point that you don't necessarily need to hire a top coach to qualify for the World Cup. And then there's also a comment from Viral Moment. Viral Moment says, Pesero was not a complete coach. I disagree with you. Under him, we barely created chances. I would also just point out that under him, we reached the AFCON final, which we hadn't done since 2013. I know Nigerians appreciate chances more than winning, but some people actually like to win games. I like to win games, not just about creating chances. Eric Shell creates a lot of chances, wins some games, doesn't win some game. Finidi created chances, win nothing. So I still find it a bit baffling that people talk down on Jose Pesero with the Super Eagles because so Pesero didn't do well in his first 2 World Cup qualifiers, but that guy got us playing an organized game that we haven't played in a very, very long time. I will reach the final of the AFCON. Okay, 4 more callers, guys. Please, we have to go as quickly as possible so that I can take everybody. Monachi, welcome.
Yeah, hi, IoT. Sad day for Nigerian football, but it is what it is. We were not good enough on the day. Coach Eric Chell was completely outfoxed by Sabre, if that's his name. In all facets of the game, it was baffling to watch the darling Super Eagles, who crushed Benin 4-0, crushed Gabon 4-1, relegated to clean punts like hopeful balls, allowing a sixth. Oh my God. Allowing that guy that couldn't control with his chest. And I was looking at the fact that Osimhen was even trying to coach him. One of the best chances that we have in extra time, we could not take advantage of it because one person couldn't knot the ball very well. It's very, 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 very sad. I told Smith Lai on Friday, I said the fact that we got into extra time will play a factor in denying us, because he asked me about what I felt. I told him I wasn't sure we were going to win today. And secondly, I also said I predicted, but I'm not a prophet of doom, but I predicted Osimhen was going to go off injured. If you feel like I'm joking, people can actually go back to that clip. I said it, that Osimhen was going to get injured and that he should be very, very careful, because truth is we were all reliant on Osimhen. When Osimhen is not in the party, then everything fails. So it's bad enough, because I looked at it, and you're right that I don't. Again, I don't think they train for penalty kicks. I'm not very sure. I don't think so, because if you train for penalty kicks, you players should not be choosing themselves. It should be the coaches, people who are training them during training. They did not prepare for penalty kicks. They did not. It just got to that point whereby, oh, it shall allow and vibes. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. But it is what it is. Very, very sad. It reignited my hope. So sad that we cannot go. That's all I have to say, anyways.
All right. Thank you very much, Manachi. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Amoto, then Adedotunmu, then Kingsley Patrick. Amoto, welcome.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, so let me just lighten up the mood, because everybody just relax. See, I didn't even watch the ball. I have a lot of things on my mind, but let me just say this. What were we going to do in World Cup?
We'll reach the round of 16, but then we'll go out now, normal.
Which round of 16? Which round of 16? Round of 16 was 2014, when we still had Musa, when we still had Yobo. We might have even finished with 0 points. I'm telling you. The main reason why I wanted to go to World Cup, people like you wanted to enter Yankee, we wanted to catch fun, the players wanted to go to America. Everybody just wanted. The mentality is wrong. What we're going to do is good as we just left like this. Number one, that training we didn't train, that they were looking for money, is what affected this game. I'm telling you, it's what affected this game. That training. I won't blame the players. I mean, they need to fight for their rights, but they affected this game. All other African teams trained 3 times. Us, we trained twice. They affected this game, number one. Number two, what should I even say again? The coach. This is football of modern day. See our players, see our coach. In the old Super Eagles, which player is on form now? Even Osimhen, he has just 3 league goals in 9 games. Which player is on form in that Super Eagles team? So, let me not just take too much time. Like I said, I didn't watch the game, but during penalty shootout, there's this babe online. Her name is Calista. She was praying. I'm like, this is football. You cannot use God. Does not interfere in football. If you don't train well, if you don't do the right things, you have the results we're having. We are not qualifying in 2030. Like, it's like decline. We are just going down. 2030, we are not qualifying. No under 20 for us. No, in fact, if I'm President Tinubu now, I will stop football in the nation for like 2 years. Anybody caught playing on the streets, just arrest the person. We need to use 2 years to organize how we want to do sports in the country. We should just stop all the sports, because it's just a declining thing. We're not going to. There's no upward direction. We're going to keep on going down. So just brace up. I mean, you can diversify. You don't really have to talk about Super Eagles all the time. You can enter club side football and grow your channel.
All right.
Let me not take too much time. That's it, man.
All right. Thank you very much. Hey, I'm gonna say we should talk about club football and go to channel. To be honest, if we talk about club football, we'll get a larger audience than we do, because everybody watches club football, not everybody watches the Super Eagles. But no, this channel was built on Nigerian national team and Nigerian national team players. So that's what we'll continue to do. Okay, two more callers, guys. Please, we'll have to go as quickly as possible. Adeotun, welcome. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much, Ayotsi. Well, should I say it's not to me, it's not a side day for Nigerian football because we didn't expect us to be at the playoffs, but found ourselves there. And I've been saying it that even though I would allow the guys to qualify so that players like Osimhen, Lukman, and Co will be able to play at the World Cup. Because Mr. This now, I doubt if they will back to play at the World Cup again. I doubt. Chances good. There's only players like this guy, Bassi and Trellis to have the chance to World Cup.
Osimhen will
But
still be here in 4 years now.
Baba, look at his age. I want him to be. I want him to play the World Cup. But sometimes you want to do, but what if your body is not taking it?
He'll be 31 years old, Abba. His body will take it.
I'm just saying that what if your body is not taking it? This football. That my left ball. I didn't know I was going to leave ball that early, but I had to leave. So that's by the way. I will not blame the players much, but some players too, they know they're not supposed to be in the national team, so they need to go and work on themselves. Before they get back to national team, they need to work on themselves. Eric Shell should not be moved. It should not be sacked. Now, consider a lot of people are now coming on to be coach. People that not even go to coaching course. Say, oh, should I play 10-4-4? Should I play 4-3? Everybody now became a coach. The only place I blame Shell was taking out the Chukwueze and Ademola Lookman at the same time. Osimhen left the pitch. Osimhen happened to be the only player that could stress or give the Congolese defense work to do. But some of these guys too, you cannot tell me that Mbemba and Raul Zaka, they all know Ademola Lookman. Even Ademola Lookman on the pitch could be a fair factor. So some of his passes were awkward today. Well, his passes were awkward today. But a wounded lion can still roar. So leaving Ademola Lookman would have been a little bit better for me. That's my opinion, though. And now, even Moses that brought in, I did not see most of the match. Even my wife was asking, where's Moses? Where's Moses? Where's Moses? Moses is playing. So meaning that Osimhen out, Lookman not fit, Chukwueze not fit, then it means we don't have substitute for them. But I'm not blaming the coach, but I expect some players to be in the team. But those players, I think, maybe because injuries, they're like Nathan Taylor, Lionel, and Co. I sent to be in the team, but not the team. But I think these guys, the Congolese, they deserved it. But I watched almost all the qualifiers. It was only that match that they lost to Senegal that pushed them to playoffs. If they had won that match, Senegal would have gone to playoff. But I think they deserved it. And I wish they would go there, all African countries that qualify will go there and do Africa proud so that they will not reduce this thing. But people that have been talking about home-based players, please, let's just give this team respect. No home-based player can match these guys. You and I remember IOT during the cup that they invited friends. You and I we thought about it. That I did not doubt Freddie's ability, but I just don't like the process that brought him in. No, Super Eagles is the pinnacle of our football. We should respect it. Players should come in through the right channel. Now, like I said, the coach invited some players. Then I always say, if you don't trust him, is the player, please do not invite the player. Do not invite the player. But that is that. I see, if not qualifying for this World Cup, we bring down the present NFF and the sport ministry, I think I'm very happy. I am very happy. If this will cause confusion in their camp, we bring them down. I'm very happy. And that's why I fought our external nationals Instead of lobbying with these people, they should have formed a one body, a unified body. I know they have their body. They bring out someone to go and compete with the current NFL president and see if Nigerians will not support you or not. Not support you or not. But going forward, some players should please call it quits in the team or up their games. Simon and Cody should please up their games or call it quit in the team. And the injured players, I pray they get back. And somebody said that, oh, not qualifying for World Cup. Now this one will deprive some of the diaspora born players come and play for Nigeria. I'm sorry to say, any diaspora born that is expecting us to qualify before you come and play for Nigeria, I don't want that player in the team. Why do you want to worry? Why do you want to eat where not so? So now the coach should continue, call more players, call everyone look and cranny. I won't say if Unadi is staying well, he can bring him on. I don't mind. But not that because he played at 20. Now, this is a shame on NFF for killing our underage football. Other than that. But Coach Shell should please help us to, maybe you can get in touch with you, scout more players and bring players to the national team and going forward. And then come one match, the windows, maybe that should be an opportunity to invite new players to the team and test how you keep building the team. Western of came in 1989. His fourth match at AFCON against Algeria were beating blah blah 5-1. And we got to the final. We lost to Algeria 1-0. He won silver. The next AFCON, he won bronze. Football AFCON, he won gold. I'll for World Cup.
Mm.
So I hope this will build a team too. Thank you, IoT, for
All right,
having me.
thank you very much, Mr. Didotun. Thank you very much. All right, all right. Final guest, Mr. Kingsley Patrick. You have 4 minutes, please. So 4 minutes. Let's just get your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you for having me. The other caller, what is his name? Is it Chika or something that said he's a coach? This type of talks is things that people come and talk without statistics. Senegal is coached by Papa Tau. He's a home base. He qualified Togo. He qualified Senegal for the World Cup. He's not a coach. He's not a world-class coach, but he still qualified Senegal. Ivory Coast is coached by a home base, Emery Fair. He qualified Ivory Coast. Is not a world-class coach. Cape Verde is coached by Pedro, home base. He qualified Cape Verde in a group that has Cameroon and coached by a foreigner, still a home base coach, qualified Cape Verde. Ghana is coached by Otado, home base coach. He qualified Ghana. Morocco is coached by Wadid, a home base coach, qualified Morocco. The same thing with Egypt, Hassan Hussein. So these people don't have big CV. Even the so-called big CV coaches has failed in African team. I remember Steve Goran Eriksson in 2006. He led Ivory Coast to a disastrous 2006 World Cup in Germany, despite collecting 70,000 pounds in a month. So yet he couldn't do anything. So it's not. We should stop all this rubbish talk of. Anytime you lose a match, you say, okay, this guy, if it is Brazil, he said, and all these countries, Senegal, because Cape Verde, Ghana, they don't have world-class coaches. Then, with respect to the match, I remember I was talking to Smith on Friday. Smith didn't allow me because I told him that this match will be very difficult for Nigeria. In fact, it is going to be a slim win because I remember that this same Congo was in the same team, same group with Morocco in AFCON. They almost beat Morocco. The match ended 1-1 because they missed penalty in that match. If they had scored that penalty, they could have beaten Morocco. Meanwhile, Morocco is the highest ranked African team. They came to semi-final last World Cup. They almost lost to Congo. Then this Congo came to semi-final AFCON. They lost narrowly to Ivory Coast, the eventual winners, and then lost narrowly to South African penalty shootout. So fourth place finish, and you can see they almost qualify ahead of Senegal because they hold Senegal 1-1 in Dakar and lost 3-2 at home, despite leading 2-0. So Senegal came from behind to win 3-2 in Kinshasa. And that was their fans, went and scattered everything, damaged, because they couldn't believe that they would throw a 2. So this was not a team that you will just wake up and, So I was telling Smith, like people were telling him we will beat them 4-0. And Smith did not allow me to finish. He said 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I told him that this team, they are going to meet. So with respect to the match, I think I was also making suggestions like let him not start the same way he started against Gabon, because these people has watched our video clips and they have mapped out how to stop Osimhen and how to disorganize our team. That he should tweet that team. That if he start the same thing he did against Gabon, we are in for trouble. And exactly the same thing happened. They wounded Osimhen, and immediately they wounded Osimhen because they were defending in the first half. The second half, when they wounded Osimhen, saw that he's wounded, they came out in full force, started attacking from all cylinders, and our team could not hold because even Eric Chell did not make plan B, because when you are playing a match, you have to plan for worst case scenario. What of if Osimhen get injury? What am I going to do? What of if they give him red card? What of if this ball comes to penalty? Which people are going to play the penalties? These are plan B, because you don't expect everything to work well for you, just as it worked in Gabon. You have to plan, because if he has planned for plan B, I don't see the reason why he will bring Awazim, remove what's that Tolu in the extra time, 116 minutes, and that ball was heading for penalty. Why don't you bring Tronsecon? He has been consistent when it comes to penalty. You can say his defense is slow, he's not too fast again, but when it comes to penalties, I've never seen him miss penalty for the Super Eagles. He was the player of the tournament in the AFCON because he converted most of his penalties. Even against South Africa, he scored against South Africa in the 90 minutes and scored again in the penalty shootouts. Scored against Ivory Coast in the opening match, in the second match. So why did you bring Awazim in that match when Tronsecon was there? I was expecting him to bring Tronsecon, because if Tronsecon had started that penalty, he could have built the confidence of the other people that are going to take penalties. If the first and last person is very important in penalties. If the first person miss the penalty, the morale of the team will be low. Because I knew that was a tactical blunder on his side not to bring Tronsecon, because even the guys that played that penalty is questionable. I remember when Pasero led them against South Africa in the semi-final last AFCON. This guy, Bassi, was one of his player of the tournament. Bassi was outstanding. Even Shemi Ajayi was good. Moses was good, but he still used Ihana Cho, Murphy, and this guy, what is his name? Ihana Cho, Murphy, and what is the Omeru, to play the penalties, and they converted their penalties. He didn't use.
I even did a video talking about how they set up for that penalty shootout. It was very sophisticated.
Yes, because he believed that South Africa must have watched video clips of Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, Moses Simon, and the Bassett. So he used this Ihana Cho, because Ihana Cho has not played any match in that competition. The same thing with Omero, the same thing with Murphy. That match was their first match in the AFCON. So the thing confused South Africa, because South Africa has watched the video clips and was expecting these guys to play, so they will catch them. Williams will catch as he did to Cape Verde, because when they interviewed him against Cape Verde, he said that the analysts got video clips of all their players. So he studied those players, you know where they were going to play the penalty, and that was why he caught 4 penalties that day. The same thing against Congo. So, but you have to plan. So he didn't have any plan B. I don't know whether he expected this match to win this match before the penalties. And when it was obvious that it was going to, and to be fair, the referee was on our side. You know, the officiating today was on our side because there were so many calls that, you know, this match was 120 minutes plus 2 extra minutes. The referee blew the match before the 2 minutes elapsed, which to me was.
Please, 1 minute, please, Mr. Kingsley.
Sir?
1 minute.
So based on what I'm saying, I'm not of the opinion that they should sack the coach, you know, because other countries, 7 or 6 countries that qualified from Africa was home base. And those home base coaches, England, Brazil, all these people couldn't have bought them, just like that guy, because it's easy for you to say things that doesn't have any statistics to back it up. Then, with respect to, we need to start planning how are we going to do it if Osimhen is not there. Because this is going to be a problem. If this guy gets injury, they give him a red card or something, Nigeria is in trouble. Because the thing just manifested itself. This thing happened against South Africa in South Africa when he wounded himself against Rwanda in Uyo. So against South Africa, they struggled to play 1-1. In fact, it was even a handball. The goal Bassi scored. It's just that there was no VAR, and we were lucky to get away with 1-1. We could have lost that match 1-0. So, but be it as it may, I think we should start. And I don't believe solely that because we lost this match, if we go to AFCON, we are going to crash out in group stage. I don't think so, because different matches has different, you know, you can form case you can. After all, crashed out in the AFCON. They came last in their group. They still qualify for this World Cup. They didn't start and tell you, okay, you didn't qualify for and you came last in AFCON. You go. They left you. And this team, the problem of this team is the FA, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't see the reason why Pasero should be sacked. If Cape Verde can leave their coach despite crashing out in the quarterfinal, South Africa can leave their coach crashing out in the semi-final. This other Ghana left their coach crashing out in the group stage. Morocco left their coach crashing out in the quarterfinal. Then a team like us that came to finals, we sack our coach. And people like Sheku Odegwami and all these people, we say, they are too defensive, they are playing 3-4, but they came to the final. They almost won the cup, because I remember that. Yeah, just 1 minute. Let me summarize. He said that had injury. Allah now had injury. He said he couldn't change them because remove those 3. The Ivory Coast will be excited to so they left them with those injuries. He asked them to manage, because if they remove them, the 3 of them, the opponent will build the confidence of the opponent when they see that these people are not there. So they play that match with injury, and that was why we crushed in the second half. We couldn't cope with the pace. And after that tournament, Ola now went for surgery. Tron Sekong went for surgery. The same thing with Zaidu Sanusi. They went for surgery immediately because they were all wounded. So let us, if NFA have let Pasero, I know Pasero didn't start well, but he could have built on that. You know, if other people can catch up. After all, South Africa was 4th when they started this World Qualifier, when they lost to Rwanda. They still left Hugo Bruce, and Hugo Bruce still able to turn the table around, and they came first and qualified. This changing of coaches, FA, to me, is the cause of this problem. And some of the so-called, most of our old players, that they are not fair when they are doing the analysis. They just deceive, say this, that, change the coach. And that sequence changing of coaches is what put us in this mess. And some people are saying that this coach is not good, but Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cape Verde, Ghana, Morocco, and Egypt are all home-based coaches, and they don't have any CB, and all of them qualify for this one. So let them come and prove me wrong. Let him take the statistics.
All right.
And talk by.
Thank you, Mr.
So thank you.
Thank you. I hear the passion, I hear the desire in Mr. Kingsley's voice. I said 4 minutes, Mr. Kingsley successfully used 12 minutes. 3 times the allocation. But thank God we're not on TV. We're online, so we can run a little bit over our scheduled time and nobody penalizes us. But yes, that's going to bring me to the end of today's conversation. We've been here for over 2.5 hours. I want to thank every single person that contributed in the chats, that called in to share their thoughts, and everyone that supported the channel as well with super chats. You are greatly appreciated. From Real K to OVA to Uche to Olayimika to Abifolami to Alexander Kuye, Sports Grinder, and Viral Moments. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you still haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button now, because you absolutely nothing, and it goes a long way in terms of pushing the channel forward. And if you want to support us with a super chat or with a super thanks, please feel free to do so. I know that we're upset, but nobody we play the ball, so you can still support the channel and support the efforts that we are putting in. It's time for me to go and get dinner. It is time for me to go and relax after a long day of watching my team lose and the realization that I'm not going to be supporting my team at the next FIFA World Cup. I was really, really looking forward to it. I had plans. I already started making some business arrangements with people of how to even just connect people. I'm in Canada. Of course, the World Cup is coming to USA, Canada, Mexico. So I had big plans, big thoughts in my head. There was money to be made as well from the channel, from content, from everything. So it's rather unfortunate, but we have to keep our heads up. We have to look forward to the future. Hopefully the NFF can start preparation now. Yes, we're playing AFCON next month, but the goal has to be, what do we need to do in the next 4 years to ensure that we are at the 2030 World Cup? Because if we don't do anything, believe me, if we don't do anything, if we keep doing the same nothing that we are doing now, we would not be at the next World Cup. The preparation starts today, from the debrief and understanding what they need to do between now and the next 4 years. Thank you to every single person. I appreciate you guys. My name is Ayoti. This is Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian football. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow for the Niger FC podcast. 10 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow. Make sure you do